But me, you're me, Louie Tee. Welcome to the Command Post Game Live Show. You know what it is. Post up, take command. This stream is brought to you by BetUS. Boy, it feels good to be wearing white, man. Feels really good. Feels good. Feels good. It feels different because it is different. All right. Now, was that how we drew it up? Absolutely not. Okay. Is that a game that you'll take, fix the mistakes, and be glad and grateful that you got away with the dub? Absolutely. Am I giving this back? Am I going to apologize for 0 of 6 in the red zone? Am I going to apologize because Malik Neighbors, in the most crucial, critical juncture of the game, couldn't squeeze it? Am I going to apologize because we finally gave ourselves life and punched the football out, an intentional punch out for a turnover forced? One of the biggest plays in the game, I may add. No, I'm not going to apologize for any of that. The Giants stink. We do too. But we don't stink as much as they do, and that's why we won. Simple, right? We didn't punt today at all. 7 drives. We went down the field 7 times. And if not for penalties in the red zone, I'd like to think that at least 2 or 3 of them would have resulted in touchdown. We could have scored 40 today. Coulda, shoulda, woulda. We didn't. All right. I'm aware. And I just want to make this abundantly clear, guys. I told you this offense is going to be fun now. After watching it last week, I was like, man, this offense is light years ahead of the defense. It's kind of a role reversal right now because I thought the defense was going to carry us and the offense was going to have to try and figure it out. Boy, was I wrong. It's the offense that's going to have to carry us, and we're going to have to pray that the defense doesn't give it away, right? 15 possessions in 2 games that the Commanders have had on offense. 12 of them, we have had chances to score points. Let me repeat myself because I know that's hard for some of you to comprehend because it was mind-boggling for me to wrap my brain around Tress Way getting the day off. There have been weeks where Tress Way was the best player on the field because he punted 11 times. Tress Way didn't even break a sweat today. They could take the jersey off, hang it back up, leave it there for 3 weeks when we come back home to take on the Cleveland Browns because they don't even have to wash it because he didn't play today. Maybe the gold pants got a little slight grass stain from holding all those field goals today. Maybe they got to wash the pants. They don't have to wash his top, though, right? That's nice. Boy, we got a lot to clean up defensively. All right, and we'll get into that throughout the course of the day, but make no mistake about it. All right, that was a big win, and it's one you have to understand. It's one that we wouldn't have gotten with Rivera. That's why we couldn't beat the Giants. We couldn't beat them. We couldn't find ways to win. There's a fine line in this league between winning and losing. The Giants are worse than we are. They are. I said it, and I told you I expect us to win this game. Not because I think we're light years better than the Giants. I think we're better because they are a bad team. They're a bad team. And bad teams find ways to lose. They're worse than us. And what did the Giants do today? They found ways to lose this game. And we also found ways to win. And that's a redeeming quality in this league. It's a very thin line, razor thin line between winning and losing in this league. Ask the Baltimore Ravens, who are now 0-2 this season, if they wouldn't have taken a 21-18 win with 7 field goals. The Cowboys got stomped out, curb stomped today in their own building. Got curb stomped. All that shit they were talking about, defense with their new defensive coordinator, got curb stomped today. We're tied for second place in the division, and depending on what happens on Monday, there's no A.J. Brown, we could be tied for first place. Hey, how about that? Look, man, this defense, we got a lot to talk about. But let's talk about the positives first, because we got plenty of time to talk about what this defense is, what it isn't, and what they're going to have to clean up. I actually had a very reckless thought cross my mind watching this game. It was fleeting. And I said, man, you tripping. You acting like one of these fans that you try to talk off the ledge every week. You tripping right now. It was an irrational thought, but it was fleeting. But for a second, it crossed my mind. I'm going to tell you what that thought was a little bit later on in the show. But let's get into the game in particular, talk about what transpired, and then we'll get to, inside the odds, and then we'll get to your comments. So the opening kickoff is returned for a touchdown. I talked shit about Austin Eckler on kickoffs last week. So my apologies, Austin. My bad, right? Talked some shit about him. I said, I don't really, they call it a run play. It's not a run play. I don't want Austin back there no more. And Austin said, oh, really? That's how you feel? So you're going to do me like that? I only had like 2 opportunities last week, and you're going to do me like that? I was like, yeah, I am. He's like, I bet. I got you. And he took it the distance in the game. Opening kickoff. And we had a bad holding penalty that didn't impact the play at all. Like, he was already past the dude that was holding, and that guy that he held wasn't going to make a play on Austin Eckler. It was a bad hold, but it was holding. That was a microcosm of things to come in the game. We didn't know it at the time, but penalties would almost be our undoing in this game. Okay. So we take that opening possession, and it's a marathon. It almost takes up 10 minutes of the first quarter. It might have taken up 10 minutes. I think it took like 9 minutes and like 46 seconds of the first quarter clock. 16 plays. And yet, somehow, with the false start penalty, we managed to have to settle for a field goal. How disappointing was that? After an Austin Eckler, like 14-yard run on 3rd and 15, you're feeling really good about getting it. It's 4th and 1, and I'm like, they can't stop us. And they couldn't stop us in short yardage situations all day. Brian Robinson had a field day. We'll talk about his day here in a second. But we get to 4th and 1 after the Eckler 14-yard run on 3rd and 15 after a false start penalty pushed us back. And I'm like, you got to go for it. You had already gone for it on 4th down once on the drive and converted. You got to do it again. Because I had said, you got to go for it, man. We can't sit here and play pussyfoot with the New York Giants and try to edge them out, which is ultimately what we did. But I wanted to go for the jugular, right? I wanted to cut them and watch them bleed out. Went for it. We were going to go for it again on 4th down, and then you get the false start penalty. All right. Pushes you back. Ben Sinnott, guilty, is charged. Now it's 4th and 6. Now you got to kick the field goal. What a disappointing end to a great opening drive. That was the story of the day. And it would continue to happen. And on that kick, what we didn't know initially is that on that kickoff, one of the most impactful things that would happen in the game happened. And that was Graham Gano pulling a hammy, trying to chase down Austin Eckler. That meant they had no field goal kicker. So it changed the way that they were going to, and it maybe if Gilliam had made the first extra point, it would have changed the way they would have went about business, but he missed it. And they said, okay, we can't put him out there. He's not going to be able to make the kicks. So now I felt like we had a stark advantage over them. Like, we should blow them out now. Because now they're going to have to do things that are uncharacteristic to what they do. They're going to have to go for it on 4th down just about every time that they're in field goal range now. Whether that's a 4th and 6 or 4th and 8 or 4th and 10. If you're at the 32-yard line, are you going to punt the ball on 4th and 10? No, you're not. You're going to go for it. Because you can't kick a 50-yard field goal with your punter. So we had an advantage, and we didn't take advantage of it because we couldn't even force them to have to settle for field goals on 4th down. They kept converting on 3rd downs. And then on the off chance that they had to go for it on a 4th down, they converted that too. And I'm just sitting here saying to myself, you got to be kidding me, man. And I told the mob, I jumped on live quickly and I said, we're going to win this game. I'm just disappointed because, 1, we weren't stopping the run. And 2, Daniel Jones had too much time to throw the football. I thought we should have been more aggressive in our pressure. And how many times are you going to allow Malik Neighbors to win on a shallow cross, on a mesh concept, in man-to-man coverage on 3rd and long? Like, they had staple plays. Daniel Jones didn't do anything significant today. He played pitch and catch. They went play action fake, and what did they do? Deep comeback on the outsides. How many times did we see him throw that route? God, wide ass open. Don't want to get run by. I'd much rather you make them do that than give it up 67 yards over the top, right? So the deep comeback was there all day, right? Almost max protect, no pressure whatsoever. He gets to the top of his drop, first read open, hit him, right? Get to 3rd and 8, 3rd and 10, right? Big situation, try to get a stop. They run, mesh concept. Neighbor starts on the left, comes across the formation to the right, right in Daniel Jones's eyesight. Easy pitch and catch, no pressure. How many times are we going to keep running man against that? At some point, you think you should play some zone, right? Make Daniel Jones beat you by reading zone coverage? Maybe, just a thought. Instead of these easy pitch and catch opportunities in man coverage with no pressure. Somehow we found ourselves trailing at halftime 12-9 because we allowed them to score a touchdown before the halftime break. We had 3 possessions in the first half, 3 field goals, all of them, except for one. I don't think we got in the red zone on the second possession. I think Seibert made a 45-yard field goal, 41, 47, something like that. And so that was the only possession that didn't make it technically into the red zone. And then the other possession, same thing, got down there. And it almost felt inevitable. Like, whose turn is it now? Is it Allegretti's turn to go false start? Cosme, did you do one yet? No? All right, it's your turn, right? Send it. You already got yours, right? Send it. Yeah. You got yours on the first drive. Okay, yeah. Don't do it again. You good. You already got yours. We were taking turns, right? Unbelievable. It was it was crazy to watch. I said that the opening script would include a Terry McLaurin target, right? I told you that. I said I wouldn't be shocked if he gets the first play of the game. What did they do? Wide receiver screen, a hitch to Terry. Now, he lost yards on the play, didn't go anywhere, but it was just good. I don't care that it lost yards. That's not the point. The point is he needs to see the ball come in his direction early in the game so he's a part of the game, period. And you saw he had 6 catches in the game. Now, it was only for 22 yards, right? Only impactful catch that he actually had was the outcut, the bench route that he ran off play action fake after we had the, I want to say it was a 5-yard loss, a penalty, right? I want to say it was a false start penalty. And we had backed up, and then Jayden hits him. Or it might have been like no, matter of fact, it wasn't a penalty. It was like a wide receiver screen that went awry, a 5-yard loss or whatever it was. And then Terry catches that bench route, and they challenge it, and they win the challenge, move it back about a half yard and make it 3rd and 1. And then Brian Robinson ripped off the big run. And I was like, you need to score there, bro. Because at the time we had not scored in the red zone. I was like, you needed to score right there. Because I knew what type of day it was. I had zero confidence that we were going to score in the red zone today, which was a stark contrast to last week where I didn't think we could be stopped in the red zone. I was like, you needed to score. I told the mob, I said, he needed to score right there. And I didn't say why he needed to score, but you could put the pieces of the puzzle together as to why I felt like he needed to score. Said the same thing on the 32-yard run where he could have split the defenders and got in the end zone. I said he needed to score right there. He should have scored 2 touchdowns. He didn't. Of course, we ended up settling for field goals. Big play by Benjamin St-Juste, that forced fumble, because the Giants were going for more points, right? The Giants only punted once. We punted 0 times, all right? Giants only punted once in this game, but they had 3 turnovers in this game. And that's ultimately why they lost the game, right? They had the punt, or not 3 turnovers, 2 turnovers and a punt, right? They punted once. They had the fumble, and then the Malik Neighbors drop on 4th down. That's why they lost the game, right? We didn't have those such mistakes. That's why we won the game. And I talk about this all the time. It's the team that hurts themselves the least amount that's going to win the game. It's usually the team that makes the least amount of mistakes. In these types of games where the teams are pretty evenly matched, it's the team that makes the least amount of mistakes. More games in this league are lost than they are won. And the Giants showed you why they're 0-2 right now, because they had a golden opportunity to win this game. They fumbled and they dropped the pass wide open prior to the 2-minute warning that set the stage for Jayden Daniels to have his first career game-winning drive, right? And Jayden took full advantage. So let's hear it for Austin Seibert, man. Damn. Let's hear it. He won't even hear 5 days ago. Let's hear it for Austin Seibert, man. Hell yeah, Austin. Austin 316 means I just kicked your ass, as in 7 field goals. Hell yeah. 7 field goals. The first kicker in history, in this franchise's history, to go 6 of 6 in a game and then said, no, I'm going to do it one better. 7 of 7, including a game winner. Somebody has a game ball with their name on it. He's not the only one. Let's go to Brian Robinson Jr. Man, was he good today. I can sit here and talk shit about him not being able to get away, right? Opportunities were there for him to run for touchdowns, I thought, and he couldn't get away. He didn't have that extra gear. We already knew that, though, which is why I've been clamoring for a speed back. Somebody that has that extra gear that will, on those plays that pop. Now, that second one, that's all offensive line and Brian Robinson Jr. staying alive, because that's a short yardage situation. The Giants got no penetration. He ran up into the backs of the offensive linemen and nobody touched him. So he came out the backside. That's great blocking is what that is. And then you need to have the speed to go, and he just didn't have that extra gear, right? But I love him because he's physical. He gets what's there and then a little bit more on top, right? Because you're not going to get him down with a simple arm tackle. He's going to run through that. He's going to finish through contact, and he's going to fall forward. And if you don't wrap up, he's going to break that tackle. He has tremendous contact balance. One of the most important characteristics for a running back in this league. I've said this. I've never seen a running back with better contact balance than Alvin Kamara, which is why I knew he was going to be special coming out of Tennessee. And I said it. This is a first round back, right? Brian Robinson Jr. has tremendous contact balance. So even when he's stumbling, he still keeps his balance. Problem is, he's just not going to outrun you. But he set a career high today in long runs, right? His longest run of his career was set in the first half with the 32-yarder. He then broke that with the 40-yarder. Both of them I thought should have gone for touchdowns, okay, if he had that extra gear. And then a career high 133 yards rushing in this game. I told you the two backs are going to be fun to watch this year, right? Because we know Brian Robinson Jr. is a pain to deal with. And then Eckler, I think, is just dynamic every time he touches it, right? Whether it's a draw or it's a, how about that throwback screen from Cliff? Cliff was in his bag for the second week in a row. You roll out to your right, you set up the screen to your right, so everybody is flowing right, and then you sneak Eckler off to the left by himself with one blocker out in front, and you dump that thing to him, and you let him run up this. I thought it was a touchdown. I was like, finally! And then we see the damn defender, Drew Phillips, out of nowhere, like, shit. And I knew we weren't going to score a touchdown now, right? Because that's I was like, yes, that touchdown. Oh, shit. Field goal, right? First and goal from like the 7, and I knew we weren't getting in. And then, of course, on cue, Sam Cosmi, false start, right? Your turn, Sam. Tag, you're it. Your false start turn. And, of course, we settled for another field goal. But ultimately, Brian Robinson Jr., Jayden Daniels was spectacular. 23 of 29, 226 yards. Obviously, no touchdowns today. Another 44 on the ground. A lot of people were holding their collective breaths when he went down, and somebody in the mob said, see, Louie, I bet you're nervous now. I'm like, no, I'm not. He just got the wind knocked out of him. He's good. He's good, right? Check to make sure you ain't spitting up no blood, because we did catch a rib shot, right? So he took couple sips of water, spit it out just to make sure there was no blood in there. If it is, now we gotta do some x-rays, and we gotta, everything was good. All right, put your helmet back on, time to get back out there. I wasn't nervous at all. That's part of his game. All right. If you're gonna play this game, too many of y'all as fans are squeamish. Go be in the media, because they're always squeamish. Oh, you shouldn't run. And I'm pretty sure there's gonna be 15 questions about Jayden Daniels, not getting hit, and oh man, he had to come out of the game today, because they've never played a contact sport before. Right? Everybody wants to be it. Look, let him worry about his well-being. You don't worry about it. If he ain't tripping about it, then you shouldn't be neither. Right? What a day for him. Proud of the progress he made after that hit. He stayed in the pocket more. He hung in there. He did early in the game. It looked like last week, where I'm like, oh shit, here we go. Every time it looks, like people are coming, he gets antsy and he's getting out of there. After that hit, he started to hang in there. And he started to find Noah Brown, and he started to find Zach Ertz, and he started to check it down to Eckler and Brian Robinson Jr., and he started to find Terry McLaurin and De'Ami Brown, and he started to get into a rhythm where he started getting it out of his hands, and he started hanging in there. Even when we felt like the pocket was starting to crumble around him, he hung in there. There were a couple of times where if he doesn't throw the ball when he does, he's getting hit from behind, right? But he made those plays today. And it feels good to have a quarterback where when the game's on the line, I'm like, yo, we finna go win this shit. If the defense could just get a stop, and we'll call it a stop, okay? Because technically it wasn't a stop, it was a drop, but we'll take it, right? Not our fault. If they could just get a stop, we're gonna win this game because the Giants can't stop our offense. They can't stop our offense. And man, was that fun to watch. Was it fun to watch Jayden kind of come of age today? You know? So between Jayden, the run game, we rushed for over 200 yards in this game, 6 yards a pop. And this ain't like last week where a bulk of the rush yards coming from our quarterback. Jayden only had 44 yards rushing today. Brian Robinson had 133 yards, and Austin Eckler had another 38 on 8 carries. So this was a collective effort. We're going to be when it's all said and done, we'll be top 7 in the league rushing this year because of Jayden Daniels, but also because the threat of him running and then Brian Robinson Jr. and just the way he plays, people keep thinking Cliff is this finesse guy that doesn't know. Cliff is going to run that bitch. It's not the conventional run game, but Cliff is going to run it. And you're seeing that. I didn't love the 3rd and 4 run to Austin Eckler that got us no yards, that forced us to settle for a field goal. But I think in their mind, they were thinking, get 2 or 3 here, and we're going for it on 4th down. And then he got none. And that just wasn't the way the run game was going for us today. It was rare that we ran it and didn't get at least 2 or 3, right? So to run it on 3rd and 4 when the Giants probably think we're passing and get nothing, I think it caught them off guard, and they was like, well, it's 4 yards. That's too far to just go for it. Let's just kick the field goal. And it was the right decision. I knew what they were thinking. It just sucked because when you're 3rd and 4 and you run it, if you run it on 3rd and 4, a lot of times you're running with the mindset of we going for it on 4th down. And that's what they were going to do, assuming they gained 2 or 3 yards. We got nothing on that play. So they kicked the field goal. It was a really good offensive game plan attacking the Giants. It was really disappointing defensively not attacking Daniel Jones. And I know that you don't trust your corners on the back end, and it's hard to bring pressure when you don't trust your back end, but you can play zone. You don't have to play man when you blitz. You're allowed to play zone and blitz at the same time. And at some point, I was waiting for them to show man and give Daniel Jones zone and see if he didn't make a mistake. Like I was waiting for him to think that shallow cross was open, not see the defender out here, just outside of the line of sight of his helmet, right? And then that guy just run in front of one of those crossers, pick it off, and go the other way with it. And it just never happened. We just kept playing man against that, and they kept eating it up. Yum, yum, eat them up. Yum, yum, eat them up. We didn't tackle well for the 2nd consecutive week. This attacking style front, while it's fun to watch, boy, does it get gashed in the run game. Because instead of your defensive lineman holding up at the point of attack, right, and forcing the running back to have to figure out which way and playing off of the blocker, right, we're attacking and getting up the field. Well, guess what? If you hit it and you get up the field, but you don't go exactly where the running back is, you're going up the field and you're vacating your gap and you're leaving this massive hole, right? If you hit it and you get to the ball carrier, it's beautiful. It's a 4 or 5 yard loss. But how many times are you getting just slightly blocked up field and that running back is hitting that gap where you're supposed to be and is ripping off for 8, 12, 16, 20 yard run? That's what happened today. That's what happened last week when we got tired. We didn't get the disruption today. There weren't a bunch of tackles for loss. There weren't the plays that we saw last week, the splash plays. There wasn't the pressure that we had seen the week before that Baker Mayfield escaped. Daniel Jones had all day to throw. And we're lucky he's Daniel Jones because he still went 16-28. He still had pedestrian numbers. He still played like a little ass kid in a grown man's body. We lucky it was Daniel Jones. He missed on the 2-point conversions both times. He missed the deep ball to Malik Neighbors. We lucky that it's still Daniel Jones. It could have been worse. I wasn't happy with Joe Witt Jr. today. And you want me to tell you what the fleeting thought was? And this was reckless, man. I shouldn't even say this because I don't even want to put this shit out in the atmosphere because this is dumb. I'm not even going to say the shit because it's dumb. It's stupid. I'm not even going to say it because I don't want to plant any seeds. And I ain't putting no batteries in backs. So I'm going to shut my damn mouth. I'm so glad we got this win. And it feels different. Because it is different. Because last year we would have lost this game. The year before that, we would have lost this game. The year before that, we have lost this game to the Giants many times over. This is the script right here. This is the same way the other 8 games with Daniel Jones have gone. It's the same script every time. And we are always on the wrong side of the scoreboard. Every time. It's not because Daniel Jones, see, y'all let the media feed y'all bullshit like y'all ain't watched these games. It's not because Daniel Jones is carving us up. It's because we don't score points, damn it. And we did it again today. But this time, instead of us being the one scoring 18 and losing 20-18, 21-18, instead of us being the one on the wrong side of 20, we were on the right side. That's why it's different this time. Because it's them, not us. It's supposed to be them. Because it's different. Because if it wasn't different, we would have lost this game 21-18. Malik Neighbors would have caught that pass. They would have burnt the clock now, and they would have scored a touchdown late. Went for 2, not got it, and beat us 24-18. If it was the same shit, that's what would have happened. But you know what the football guy said? Bro, I told you I got a couple in the tuck for you. I got a couple in the tuck for you, bro. Y'all went through a lot over the last quarter of a century. I got a few in the tuck for you. You want to change things, I'm going to help you. Now, you're going to have to do some of this shit on your own. But when the opportunity arises, I got some shit for y'all. Don't worry. That was the football guy saying, that's one. I got a few more in the tuck for y'all. Don't worry. Good vibes, good juju coming our way. All right? But you got to find a way to win these games. If you want to talk about it being different, prove it. 7 drives, 7 scores. I know. Field goals. What did I tell y'all? What did I tell y'all? One of my keys to the game, the first one, score points. I don't care what they look like. I said I would prefer touchdowns, did I not? But I said, I don't care if they're field goals. Just get points. Why did I say that? Remember, do you remember what I said? I said because the Giants aren't going to score a lot of points. And what do you know? The Giants scored less than 20. That's how this series has gone. The team that doesn't score 20 loses. The team that barely scores 20 wins. We were the team that barely scored 20 this time. But it was our turn. Because shit's about to change. By the next time they see us, those 7, field goal, 5 of them will be touchdowns. They needed to get this one. Because the next time they see Jayden Daniels, he's going to be a totally different animal. A whole totally different beast. That they couldn't contain him today. It's going to be way worse the next time they see him. Way worse. Anyway, I digress. Wow. What an exhilarating win. What an exhilarating win. I feel so good wearing white. This feels good, man. The white looks good on the kid. It feels good. Feels good. All right. Let's get to Inside the Odds, brought to you by BetUS, and then we'll get to the comment section.
Inside the Odds.
So looking for a new book this football season, BetUS is the answer. Fastest payouts in the industry. Also, get 10% back on your net losses up to twice a year. Again, how many books are doing that? And then here's the kicker. BetUS has upped the ante. You saw in that graphic, it was 125. Scratch that. It's now 150% sign-up bonus for up to $2,000 on your first 3 deposits when you use the promo code YouTube 150. That's right, 150% sign-up bonus for up to $2,000 on your first 3 deposits when you use the promo code YouTube 150. So Vegas knew something, right? They knew something. They hit us on the total, right? 44 was the total. I think I took the under because I said the score was going to be 27-16. So that was 43 points. We hit the under, 39 points scored total in this game. So Vegas knew what was up there. I think we all kind of assumed that the total would be under, right? I mean, there's not a lot of fireworks in this series. And then the spread was just -1. And, we covered the spread. I expected to cover the spread. I would have taken Washington and expected them to cover the spread, and they did. So there's that. Let's get into a couple of prop bets and some interesting things to look at. Jayden Daniels, passing yards. I would have taken the under on his passing yards, 199.5. So essentially, was he going to be able to throw for 200 yards? That he did today, 226. There won't be many more times. After watching him settle down in the pocket today, deliver the football with Noah Brown coming on board now, giving us another option at receiver, I don't think he's going to be sub 200 many more times this season, right? So I'll take the over on that moving forward, but I would have taken the under going into this game. 17.5 completions. He went way over that with 23. So I would have taken the over on that too. I would have thought it would have been like 19 or 20. He had 23 completions. And then passing touchdowns, I would have taken the under. I would have given him 1. He still does not have a passing touchdown this season. And he didn't have any today. We didn't score any today, but I would have taken the under on that one as well. Let's go to the next prop. Brian Robinson Jr., rushing yards. 55.5 was the number. I would have gone over. I just knew we could run the ball on the Giants. And there aren't going to be many weeks where I think he's going to fall below that number. Tampa Bay was a tough group to run against last week. And I don't know if you guys saw, but Tampa Bay went into Detroit and won today. So if you're thinking that that game last week was some bitch-ass performance by the Bucs and we suck, yeah, we stink, but they're really good, that Buccaneers team is. They're battle-tested. And I kept telling y'all last week, that's a good Buccaneers team, right? I didn't think they were 17 points better than us, but that's a good Buccaneers team, and they went into Detroit and proved it today, right? But that they could stop the run. And they did that last week. No such luck for the Giants. They can't stop Brian Robinson Jr. Are you kidding me? I would have taken the over here. And that's easy money. They were giving away money here. I'm showing you these props because I'm trying to get some money in your pocket. BetUS is giving money away. Take it. Take the money. All right. Terry McLaurin, 49.5 yards. Now, this shit is getting sad because the number was 57, I think, last week. Now it's down to 49. Next week, it might be 43, right? It just keeps coming down and down and down. And our guy, one of these games, he's going to break out. One of these games, he's going to have 6 catches for 117 yards and a touchdown. One of these games. It wasn't today. It was not today. But he did have 6 catches on 8 targets, led the team in targets, but only 22 yards. So he went well below this total here. And then I want to show you guys these props that we talked about on Wednesday's show. So remember, I talked about the first scoring play of the game and, just drop down 100. They're giving away money here, right? All of these are in the plus category. Drop down 100. And again, you might not have 100. Win you $20, drop down $10, win you $21, right? First play of the game is either first touchdown of the game, first field goal of the game, first score of the game. I said it's either going to be a Giants or a Commanders field goal, one of the two. Ain't nobody scoring a touchdown right out the gates. Commanders scored a field goal. If you'd have put down $100, you would have won $340. They're giving you money. You know your squad. You know their squad. Nobody was scoring a touchdown to start this game off. somebody was kicking a field goal. I would have slapped down a couple bucks both ways if you needed to be safe. I would have put it down on my Commanders because we never win the toss. So we always end up with the ball first, it feels like. And we kick the field goal, right? I told y'all that I'm all about the big money. Scared money don't make money. I would have put down 100 on us to be tied at halftime. If we don't give up the Malik Neighbors catch before the half, that was a third down. The game would have been tied at 9. You put on $100, you would have won $1,400. Didn't I say you can't see this game being 10-10 at halftime? Did I not say that to y'all? And it was this close from being 9-9 at halftime. Because they were so close, I think they would have trotted out Gilliam for the field goal. Because they were literally at like the 4-yard line. He probably would have made that. It was this close to being tied at 9.5. Unbelievable. And I said, look, I'm not going to lie. I thought we were going to win by 10, 11. I thought we were going to win by 11 points. I thought we were going to win by double digits, right? So I would have put down $100 for us to win by 7 to 12 points, which would have netted me $475, right? If you put, I said, now, if you know us and you want to be on the safe side, just put 100 down on 1 to 6 as well, because you'll still get your money back, right? That's $320. Again, if you put down 100 on us to win by 1 to 6 and 7 to 12, that's $200 you're spending, but you're gonna make $320 back if they win the game by 1 to 6 points. You're gonna make $475 if they win the game by 7 to 12. You would have made some money, right? And then the last one, I thought this was an interesting prop bet that I saw today, so I decided to yank it and put it up here. Jayden Daniels, this was a weekend special on BetUS. This is why you got to come over here. Stop playing. BetUS is trying to give you money. Check this out. Jayden Daniels and Malik Neighbors combined 300 yards passing and receiving. $150. You could have won. You slapped down 100, you would have won $150. They went over 300 yards total. Malik had over 100 yards receiving and Jayden had over 200 yards passing. That's all you need. That was a neat little special they had going on. Again, who didn't think Malik Neighbors was going to eat us up? Who didn't think that? I just didn't want him to get a big 70-yard catch and run touchdown, right? And we didn't give up that. So I felt good about that. Anyway, I digress. Big shout out to BetUS for providing us with all of these odds and numbers that you see. All right, let's get to the comment section. See how you guys felt about the game. And we'll start with Greg Giants 10, been a member for 13 months. Really appreciate you, who writes, as a diehard Giants fan, I'd like to thank you guys for finally beating us and allowing us to get our franchise quarterback in April. This team might win 1 or 2 games. Good luck, you guys, the rest of the season. You're going to win more than that because you're going to continue to fight hard for Brian Daboll. And you're going to catch somebody slipping, right? And you play enough teams, the Carolinas of the world and Atlanta. I don't know how good they're going to be. You might catch Kirk slipping, you know, and there'll be other games on the schedule. You'll catch somebody slipping. Watch what I tell you. But in the meantime, you will be drafting a quarterback in April. And I just want to do my part. I've already said this. In past years, when we both didn't have a quarterback, it felt like we were fighting over who was going to be worse so that the team with the worst record could get the quarterback. We got that. We got our guy last year, right? We allowed you to sweep us last year for the good of the organization so we could get to this point where we are now. Now it's no excuses. We got to beat y'all now. And so, like I said, when you get to the end of the season and you're 4-13, you're 5-12, you're 6-11, 7-10, whatever your record is, I just know 2 of those wins better not be against us. That's all I know. And you might get us the next time. Who's to say? But this one was important. We needed to get this one, and we did. Ethan Dykes, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, this coaching staff looks ass-tastic. No O-line discipline, horrible defense and tackling, no red zone offense. This is a big red alert for me to buckle up. I don't agree with everything you just said. This team looked prepared today. From the opening kickoff, going for a touchdown, to the offense not punting the entire day. You can chastise the red zone offense. I'll grant you that. A false start penalty shouldn't derail a drive in the red zone every time, right? And some of those came on first down. Like, you should be able to overcome a penalty, a 5-yard penalty, with the way we were moving the ball. But it's harder in the red zone. It's harder. The field is condensed, it's shrunk, and now it's not as much space to operate. So, yeah, if you want to beat up the red zone offense, okay, that's fine. I'm gonna reserve judgment until I see the film. But we were very conservative in the red zone, and they felt like, once we're here, let's just get some points. And I can't be super mad at that. The O-line not being disciplined, you putting that on the coaches? Because, look, at some point, the players have to be accountable. Like, I don't think Joe Witt had a particularly good day, but I'm not blaming him for Michael Davis not being able to come up and make a tackle after a 5-yard completion 3 times and giving up over 60 yards to Malik Neighbors on the same route. I'm not putting that on Joe Witt Jr. That's not coaching. That's a player taking a poor angle 3 times in a row and not learning his lesson from the first time, and doing it again a second time, not learning his lesson from the first 2 times and doing it a third time. And you at some point have to say, get out the game. And they did. You out. Hey, 1, you're in. I can respect that. The defense wasn't good and the tackling wasn't good. You're not wrong about that. But I already told you before the season started, it's going to be a roller coaster ride. You should have already been buckled up. It shouldn't have taken you 2 weeks to buckle in, right? You were tripping if you weren't already buckled up before the season started. Greg Giants 10. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. My guy, Greg Giants 10 writes, I literally had to sacrifice a winners and losers game and bet the Giants to win just to make sure we lost and still almost won. I appreciate your sacrifice, Greg Giants 10. I really, truly do. Neighbors dropped that 4th down on purpose, a complete team effort to make sure we tank. Let's go. If he catches that, you're going to win the game. I don't doubt that one bit. So that was a big drop. So like you said, if Neighbors understands the assignment, then he did the right thing, because he can't be the best version of himself with Daniel Jones at quarterback. He's got to get himself a road dog if the Giants are to be a competitive team moving forward. So he did what he needed to do, right? And we appreciate him, because we needed that for our psyche as much as you needed that to get your quarterback. We both equally needed that to happen. So I appreciate it too. Very much so. You can't begin to know how much I am appreciative of that drop. Shadow Striker 789. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. Shadow Striker writes, I got a lot to say, so listen up. Okay. Ears are open. B-Rob will have at least 1 All-Pro year. Wow. It could be this year. Who knows, right? Cliff is a godsend. Enjoy him while you got him. That's what I'll say. Cut that mofo that got kickoff touchdown called back and gave the Giants the ball at the 50. Yeah, I don't know if it was the same player, but I know Nick Ballore was the one guilty. The guy we brought up from the practice squad that's supposed to be the special teams ace from Seattle was the guilty culprit on the kickoff return being called back for holding, and it was a hold. And then I don't know who got the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty that allowed the Giants opening possession to start at the 50, which was just insane. I was like, what are you guys doing? I'm watching them march up. All right, stop. Like, I thought it was a 5-yard penalty and a 10-yard penalty. And they kept walking. I'm like, hey, when the y'all gonna stop walking? Shit. Y'all ain't even in the screen no more. Where the ball at? These mofos stopped at the 47-yard. I said, God damn. I don't know who did that, but that shit pissed me off. And you don't want to piss me off. Welcome back, BJS. And hail Austin Cyber. Hail Austin Cyber is right. Man, Man, oh man, was that nice. I want to see the locker room because I know he got a game ball. I know that's got to feel good for him just getting here. Half the team don't even know his name. They know it now, though. They know it now, though. Chauncey Davis, my guy. OG, triple OG. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. Stand up. You in the building. Mob, y'all know what to do. Show OG, triple OG some love. Welcome to the squad. Chauncey Davis. King of the North. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. My guy, King of the North, writes, the good, our offense outside of the red zone. JD looked solid. B-Rob was a beast today. Noah Brown is a nice addition. Cliff Kingsbury play calls were excellent. The bad, Joe Witt's play calling. The ugly red zone penalties and DBs who can't play man coverage. I think Joe Witt deserves a lot of the vitriol today. I wanted to shield him, but I didn't think he did a good job today. I saw 3-man rushes with us playing man coverage behind that. If you're rushing 3 and you're dropping 8, you should be playing zone. And on both of those instances, we got beat on shallow crossers with the mesh concept. And I'm just like, what are we doing? Either you're going to come after him or you're going to drop, but you can't give up wide open receivers when you're dropping 8 in coverage. Where are all these guys at? What are we doing? Exactly. I was just baffled. And maybe he called something else and they didn't execute. I don't know. But I thought he was terrible today. I really, truly did. Then you get in the red zone, you send an all-out pressure, and nobody hits home. It's not even close. Like, yeah, it was rough. It was a rough day. I'll leave it at that. King of the Bluegrass. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, very, very Ronald Rivera type performance. Really? Was it, though? Was it? Because in those Ronald games, we didn't ever make it to 20 in those games. Those were 17-15 victories. We never made it to 20-1 in those Ronald games, right? What was it? What was the opener last year against Arizona? What was the score in that game? What was that, 16-10? That's Ronald Rivera, right? 7 possessions, 7 scores. That won't never Ronald Rivera, ever, okay? I get what you're saying in terms of like grind it out, ugly, but effective type wins. Take them any way you can get them. This team is young. They're growing. They're learning. These are the types of wins you got to find a way to get. You need to instill the mindset of, hey, we're going to find a way to win instead of we're going to find a way to lose these types of games. The only way you establish that mindset is by winning these types of games. Who knows what happens to Cincinnati? We might be able to catch those boys slipping next week. I highly doubt it, but you just never know, right? But you got to get 1 first. You can't get 2 without getting 1 first, right? YG DJ, stand up. You are the newest member of the MOBB. Mob, y'all know what to do. Show YG DJ some love. Welcome him with open arms. YG DJ, welcome to the squad. Glad to have you on board. Zolife, no life. Thank you for the super chat, or thank you for being a member for 17 months. Who writes, I'm sick and tired of Daniel Jones. Look, the only reason you're sick and tired of Daniel Jones is because he beats us. He didn't beat us today. He didn't even play all that great. Again, I can't explain that to you. He just, again, looks better against us than he does it against everybody else. I would be more upset if Daniel Jones threw for 311 yards and 3 touchdowns and no interceptions, going 24 of 31. I'd be pissed. The man was 16 of 28. Still in the 50s in terms of completion percentage, right? Or if not 50s, just barely at the 60 mark. That feels like 58.7% or some shit like that. For 170, whatever. If the number starts with a 1, I don't respect it. As a passer, as a veteran that's been in the league, if your number starts with a 1, I don't respect it. Get out of my face. Yep, he had 2 touchdown passes. He really didn't hurt us with his legs all that much. We just got to score. If we would have scored points, this game isn't even close. And I hate to try to minimize it, right? Because we didn't score points. But I'm not going to sit here and allow the Daniel Jones narrative to perpetuate. I'm not going to do it. Not here on my channel. You can do that somewhere else. Trey Fryer. All this talk, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, all this talk about being disciplined and physical on both sides of the ball seems like it's all talk. We're struggling to win, but hey, we got a kicker right now, Lou. You're not wrong about. I disagree with the physical part. I think we are physical right now. The problem is we're not playing fast, especially defensively. That's the biggest problem. I think we are playing physical. Did you see Frankie Louvu hitting people today? Malik Neighbors had to come out of the game because he hit his ass. I think we're playing physical. I disagree with that. Austin Eckler jumped in the air and gave somebody he gave Drew Phillips a Sagat knee. I think we're playing physical. You don't run for 133 yards to running back and 200 yards on the ground, not being fit. I think we're being physical. I disagree with that. We're not playing fast on defense. Louvu had a chance to blow up a run play, and he was hesitant. Got blocked, and it went for 17, 18 yards, 20 yards. We're not playing fast on defense. That's what I think. Physical, I think we are playing physical. Fast, not so much. And no, we're not disciplined, but with young teams, discipline is the last thing to come. So this isn't a surprise to me. It's not a surprise. Yes, we got a kicker, though. Boy, that feels good to say. At least for now. I mean, he's off to a great start. Can't get much better than 7 for 7 in the game winner, right? Chauncey Davis, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being one of the newest members of the MOBB who writes, in B-Rob, we trust. OG, triple OG, truer words have never been spoken. In B-Rob, we trust. I've always told you when it came to Brian Robinson Jr., it was never about talent. It was always about opportunities. He just never got enough. There's no reason that this man should not have 1,000-yard season rushing under his belt. It's not hard to rush for 1,000 yards in the NFL. The man was averaging almost 5 yards a pop last year and just couldn't get the ball because we had a negligent offensive coordinator. That's not going to happen this year. Fat American, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. Fat American, thank you for being a member of the MOBB. Writes, dang, bro, I'm thinking a few more weeks of quietness from J.A., Terry, and Duran. We might look to shop at least one of them. We'll see. A lot of people are starting to do that thing. They're not going to trade both of them. I could see if we're winning games and Terry McLaurin is not a part of the offense, I could see them maybe entertaining that if a juicy enough offer came their way. But understand that other guys are allowed to eat because of Terry's presence. I don't think enough of y'all give Terry credit for the amount of attention he attracts. Because when teams go into games, they go into games specifically looking to stop 17. So that safety ain't over on the other side against Noah Brown. So when Noah runs that post in the middle of the field, guess what? There was no safety there. You know why? That safety was cheating over the Terry side. So again, there's an impact that comes with Terry McLaurin, and you got to respect that. It ain't all just about the numbers he's putting up, but at some point, he needs to put up numbers, and he will. I'm pretty confident that that'll happen at some point. Somebody will be brazen enough to give him one-on-one coverage, and Jayden won't miss. But you got to take what the defense is giving you. And if that's Ertz, if that's Noah Brown, if that's Olamide Zaccheaus, if that's Luke McCaffrey, who I don't think had a catch today, right? I don't think Luke had a catch after having 3 or 4 last week. Some weeks is going to be your turn. Then next week, not so much, right? As far as Jonathan Allen and Duran are concerned, Duran is the one that I think has a chance. Jonathan Allen, to me, is solid. He's not like If we were to trade somebody, it'd be him. That's the guy that I would be willing to trade because he's older and I don't think he's as impactful as Deron Payne. So, but I'm not looking to trade anybody. You know, we got to figure this thing out defensively as a unit. I'm not looking to offload anything. I'm trying to build with what we have and continue to grow together. Des Kid 80. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB who writes, it was gritty, it was shitty, but it was a dub. You can call it whatever you want. As long as at the end, you call it a dub. That's it. You call it gritty, you call it shitty. It was a dub. All right. We got the win. We got the win, kid. Rush is variety. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB who writes, don't give a damn. A win is a win. You damn right. I'm wearing white right now. You can't tell me nothing. You can't tell me nothing. D looked improved. Did it? I mean, we got the same amount of stops as we got last week. We forced the same amount of punts as we did last week. One, right? In this game. Or did we force two? Let me check. I keep saying one. Did we force a second? Feel like we forced 2 punts in this game, but it might have only been one. I keep saying one. Feels like the Giants punted twice. They punted twice. I got to stop saying that. The Giants punted twice, and they fumbled once, and they had the turnover on downs. So we got 2 stops. Hey, you are right. We're making an improvement. We went from 1 punt being forced last week to 2 whole punts this week and a turnover. Hey, how about that? All right. And the offense kept the ball moving. Love to see it. Let's try and improve the red zone and score some TDs. And the red zone offense isn't like, I still think it's a good offense in the red zone because of Jayden's legs. We hurt ourselves. We shot ourselves in the foot today, right? Lucky that it didn't come back to bite us. Divine do care. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB who writes, although we didn't score a touchdown, we didn't punt once. Say it again, a little bit louder so those in the back who are a bit hard of hearing can understand what that means. The offense can really move the ball. I told y'all last week, this offense is going to be fun to watch. 5 out of 8 possessions last week, we had a chance to score. And I told y'all last week, the game would have looked totally different and you would have felt different had we scored on those possessions. And instead, those were empty possessions and they hurt us badly last week. Had you scored on those 2 field goals, had you hit the Terry deep ball, you would have felt totally different about the performance last week, right? The potential is through the roof. Best running back duo in the league. I told you these 2 are going to be really good. I said last week, one of the few bright spots last week offensively was the 2 running backs. I said, man, they're going to be good for us. They really, truly are. They're going to be fun to watch in this offense too because Cliff knows how to use them. Fat American, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes, on a positive note, B-Rob, Eckler, Jayden, and Seibert. Big games. Huge games. Honorable mentions on defense, Louvu, Benjamin St. Juste, and Farrell. 2 weeks in a row, Cleveland Farrell with a sack. He leads the team in sacks right now. Never thought I'd be saying that. New guys contributing. And that's what you want, right? You want the new guys to come in here, have an impact. Juice with that forced fumble, huge. Chin with the recovery, just as impactful, right? Got to get it out, though. Juice getting it out was massive. Chin recovering it was big. And again, the offense just being dynamic today, right? What were we on third downs? Felt like we had to be like 9 of 11 on third downs. It felt like, right? I don't know how many third downs we had, but it felt like we converted at a pretty good clip third down wise. 7 of 14, 50% clip today. The Giants completed 50% third downs as well, converted rather. 4 of 8 for them. They were 1 of 2. Obviously, the drop by Neighbors on 4th down, but they were 1 of 2. They would have been 2 of 2 on 4th down. We were 1 of 1 on 4th down. So 425 yards of total offense. Outgained the Giants by 121 yards. 18 more plays than the Giants in this game. Let me go to time of possession. 15 more minutes of time of possession, but the 10 penalties for 69 yards hurt us. And of course, the 0 of 6 in the red zone. That normally is a losing recipe. I always tell y'all the 3 numbers I like to look at: turnovers, 3rd downs, red zone. Normally, you go 0 of 6 in the red zone with 10 penalties, you're probably going to lose the game. While the opposition goes 3 of 3 in the red zone, oh, you're going to lose the game. The difference was they had the turnover, we didn't, and they couldn't kick extra points. So it hurt them. But a lot of those statistics suggest that we should have dominated this game. The statistics suggest we should have won this game going away. Jayden Sewell, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Jayden, let me get this out the corner so y'all can see the score and the name and all that good stuff. Jayden, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Writes, my QB is 1-0 in the division, 0 turnovers. Hashtag I got 5 on it. Hey, check this out. And we undefeated at Northwest Stadium. Talk about it. Talk about it. North Dub in the house. We 1-0 at North Dub. Talk about it. My quarterback. That's my quarterback. I got 5 on it. 1-0 in the division. Talk about it. Game-winning drive. Talk about it. Gear Cell 1. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Gear Cell 1. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, the Giants are who we thought they were, and we beat them. We tried to let them off the hook. If you want to crown their ass, you want to crown Daniel Jones' ass, then crown him. I'm not going to crown his ass. They are who we thought they were, and we beat them, Gear Cell. You're absolutely right. It wasn't pretty. It was gritty. And as somebody said earlier, Des Kid said earlier, it was shitty, but it was a dub. And like Jameis Winston, let me get a nice big bite out of that Dubski. Tastes good. Tastes like victory to me. Fat American, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. Fat American writes, listen, defense could be better. I think this, I don't know if I missed a double up with you or not, but double up, feels like this is your 3rd one, but we just going to hit that anyway. Defense could be better, but they showed flashes, man. This is coming from Fat American now. I'm shocked that this is actually coming out of your mouth of all people. Like the speed. Don't like the misses because they miss big. A bit more aggressive, though. They're going to play aggressive because that's the nature of Dan Quinn and Joe Witt Jr., but I still think there's hesitation. I still think they can play even faster, right? But they're going to hit you. They're going to hit you. I mean, they're going to hit you. Metaphor. I saw more flashes last week than I did this week. Metaphor. You know who I do think is playing better football, though? Benjamin St. Juste, man. Y'all are hard on him. Just like y'all used to be on Kendall Fuller. Y'all are hard on Benjamin St. Juste. I think he's had a really solid start to the season. Solid. Metaphor, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, Pigeons lose, we in first. Division dub. Let's go. Look, man, I'm not looking for the Eagles to lose. I'm not expecting them to lose to the Falcons, but I wasn't expecting Dallas to get drubbed, curbside stomped today, and they did. So anything can happen. I already told y'all Dallas ain't going to be as good as they were last year, and the year before that, and the year before that. They ain't even going to be remotely close, right? You should have seen all the Cowboys fans flooding my damn timeline with, this quote from this ex-player that talked about, playing against Mike Zimmer's defense. Drew Brees on playing against Zimmer's defense. This ain't 2014. Ain't nobody afraid of Mike Zimmer's defense no more. out of here. They're going to get their ass whooped this year. They still going to win 10 games, though. But that defense ain't shit. D-Boy Trucker 78. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB who writes, Giants fans left punch in the air. Ricky! Nah, they wanted to lose this game, though, for real. Like, Giants fans been asking us to beat them for the last 2 years, right? This year and last year. The only time Giants fans wanted to beat us for real was 2022 because they were actually good that year. But all last year, Giants fans wanted us to beat them. They wanted to lose this game. I'm not even going to front. Giants fans like, yo, can you please do the one job that we asked you to do? And I told them this time, yes, I will oblige this year. We got our quarterback now. So it ain't no excuse losing to y'all. Do what needs to be done, which is win. And they did. Swaggy P, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. My guy Swaggy P writes, was at the game and those Giants fans were talking mad-ish on that final drive. I bet they were. I love it. I'm glad you was there because you got to see the despair in there. Because, see, the Giants fans that came to the game, they wanted to win. Don't make the Giants fans that want to lose. The ones that want to lose are at home watching on television, right? The ones in attendance want to win. That's the ones I want to see. I want to see that despair in their hearts as they leave the stadium, right? Nobody knows my struggle. Nobody knows my pain. I wanted to see the pain in those Giants fans' eyes because them the ones that's been talking shit. You talking shit, bitch? Them the ones that's talking shit. We complained about a kicker and Seibert saved the day. We gave Tress the day off with no punts. The curse has been broken. On to Cincy. Hashtag raise hell. Indeed. Curse no more. Let's move on. I don't even want to talk about the Giants anymore. Right? That's done. It's over with. In terms of losing to them, I won't talk about it no more. Because I didn't respect it before. And I told y'all, if we lost this game, I was taking a shot on this live stream. I was that confident we were going to win. I was that confident. Didn't go the way that I thought it was going to go, but I knew we were going to find a way to win. Rob, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, running game was very impressive and promising. And that's something we can hang our hat on all season long. There won't be many weeks that we don't run for at least 100 yards just because of Jayden Daniels, right? He's going to run for 40 to 50 every week by himself. Then you factor in the two running backs, and it's going to be a hard offense to stop. Again, this is without the kind of weapons that you think are necessary to be explosive and dynamic. You don't have to have dynamic receivers and that to be a dynamic offense. The quarterback, if you got a dynamic quarterback, it changes everything. Changes everything. The Ravens have done it for years with Lamar Jackson at quarterback. They haven't had dynamic receivers. You can get away with the receivers that we have. When you got that kind of quarterback, those running backs, a solid tight end in Zach Ertz, and they're gonna find ways to get even more creative. At some point, Ben Sinnott will be a guy they throw the football to. At some point, right? At some point, they'll get more creative with the things that they're doing. Run game is, I think you're going to be able to hang your hat on that every single week. Man, the Rams are getting their asses waxed right now, 31-3. What I tell y'all about Arizona? And y'all, I told y'all, if we didn't win this game, your next two on the road at Cincinnati, at Arizona, them two losses to me. I can't speak for you. That's two losses for me. Arizona is going to be a lot better. Yeah, to telling y'all, I do this shit for a living, okay? Video channel, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, was that Austin Seibert or Mark Mosley? League MVP back in 1983. I don't know. You tell me. Did you take his helmet off? Take the mask off? Mark Mosley? Chip Lowmiller? Also got a lot of DT money for that 5.9 yard per carry from Singletary. Yeah, man. I don't love how we play the run, right? So, like this defensive scheme, like you hear people say this. No, we live by it. You've heard the adage, play the run on the way to the quarterback. You hear people say that, but you don't actually physically see that. We literally play the run on the way to the quarterback. As in, we getting up the field, we going after the quarterback. Oh shit, they ran the ball, they ran right by us. If you're gonna do that, them linebackers got to be hitting downhill, and we not hitting downhill yet. When them linebackers start flying downhill, that's gonna close all of that up. But right now, they not flying downhill as fast as I know they can fly downhill. There's still a little bit of hesitancy. I don't mind Payne and Allen shooting up the field, because if they're going to do that, then them linebackers have to replace. If they do that, these are no gains, 1 yard gains. But if you hesitate, they come out of that gap, and now that lineman gets to climb to the second level, or that tight end comes pulling around and leads up into that hole, and he gets a piece of the lineman. Man, that's 12, 15 yards easy. We got to be aggressive. We got to attack. I still think guys are kind of just slightly hesitant. They get rid of that hesitation and we'll be fine. Jack Miller, been a member for 9 months. Really appreciate you. Writes, no punch today. There, Louie, on the win. Love it. Love it. It was the first thing that I talked about during the stream with the mob, all of that. No punts. Door Gunner, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. Door Gunner writes, tackling and cornerbacks stink. I'm not gonna put everybody in that category in the cornerback. I like what Noah Igbinogheni's doing, and I think Juice. I think he's been solid this year. He's gotten a bad rap. I think he's actually been good. He had some big pass breakups today. Had the forced fumble. He didn't give up anything really big. He gave up the crosser. I mean, that's man-to-man coverage with a mesh concept and a bunch of traffic he's got to try to maneuver around. Anybody's getting beat on that route. Anybody's getting beat on that. Says offensive penalties killed us. We had 10 penalties today. And of those 10, I'd say 6 to 7 of them were on offense. I know Noah Igbinogheni had the pass interference on Neighbors. I know that we had the holding penalty on the opening kickoff of the game. That's 2. And I think we might have had 1 more defensive penalty. If not, all the other 8 were all on offense. It was rough. The offensive penalties killed us for sure. No pass rush either. It wasn't a good day for the pass rush at all. We made the Giants' offensive line look like their offensive line look like the damn best offensive line in football. That shit was frustrating because I really, off of last week's performance, I really expected pressure today. I can't wait to watch the film as to why. I want to see if guys were getting singled up, and I bet you they were double teaming, because it felt like a lot of times the Giants were going max protect, or not max protect, but jet protection, which is 6-man protection. And that would allow you, because we were only rushing 3 and 4 a lot of times. We weren't blitzing a whole hell of a lot. That'll allow you to double team guys too, right? We're not going to win a lot of edge matchups one-on-one. I already told you. Y'all know our edge rushers are. We're not going to win. Dorrance almost got around the edge twice in the game. Almost got the DJ once and almost knocked the ball out of his hands, but he's the only one that I think, and Fowler every now and again has a shot, but you already know what it is, right? Says need red zone TDs, clearly. B-Rob and run blocking were great. JD needs to throw down the field, stop the short shit to Terry, and Cyber Clutch kept me on the bench. I love it. Glad we didn't even have to entertain the idea of you warming up the kicking leg today. # win. Look, I just want to get Terry involved. He was involved today. Baby steps. Baby steps. Get him involved, get him active, and then we can start talking about pushing him down the field. Just get him involved right now. He had one taken away on a penalty, right? We talked about the offensive penalties killing us. We had RPO to Terry for about a nice 15-yard chunk over the middle of the field. That was negated due to an illegal man downfield. So we just couldn't get out of our own way. Terry had even more yards. I just like the activity. One thing at a time, right? One thing at a time. Ethan Dykes, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes? So Michael Davis, Lou? Yeah, man. I was disappointed in him big time. I'm glad they benched him, right? I told you what he's good for, right? Not off coverage, not zone coverage. Press man is what he does. And the 2 times they had him in press man, he was right there with Malik Neighbors down the field. Okay. That is his specialty. That is what he does. You ask him to do anything else, and you're asking for trouble. And tackling was not his strong suit today. And I was so glad they said, all right, enough of this shit. And they sat him down. That was disappointing. He can play. I haven't moved off of that spot. He can play. But, boy, he seemed a little delayed today. Like, mentally, he just didn't get it. Like, you can't come inside. There's no help out there. If anything, make him break the tackle going inside where the help is coming from. You're going to keep coming inside and allowing him to spin outside where there's no help? Make it make sense. Not once, not twice, but 3 times? Okay, yeah, you got to come out the game. Yeah, he struggled, man. Big time. Demand Kmart. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, I love the victory, but this defense is horrible. I have no objections to that. They got to be better, man. We caught several breaks today. They made one. Ball is life. Let there be life defensively. We got us one. Big one, too. Rob, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Rob, writes, Michael Davis had me missing Forbes out there. Don't go that far now. Don't go too far with it. But even Forbes was making tackles, right? Sheesh. Like, Michael Davis, I was so angry. Like, really, bro? I'm out here vouching for you. I went on the campaign trail for you. And this is how you repay me? Yikes. Going Commando. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Going Commando. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. Who writes, want to point out we punted 0 times today. Say it again. You can't say that enough. Great sign. Just need to clean up the red zone issues. Noah looked legit and BSJ balling. Wish we had a cornerback number 2. He is cornerback number 2. You wish we had a cornerback 1 is what you mean. He is CB2. Okay. Problem is we don't have a CB1. Okay. That's the issue. Right. I think Juice is playing better than a lot of you are giving. Like, when you just put a blanket statement over the entire secondary, corners suck. I can't rock with that, because I thought Juice was solid today. I thought he was solid last week. Right? Juice had to punch out today. Like, you get a man some credit. All right? Like, I think y'all need to set your expectations for what Juice is as a player. Set them reasonably, and you won't be disappointed. You know what he is by now. You've seen enough of Juice to know what he is and what he isn't. Set your expectations accordingly. I don't know what else y'all looking for from this man. Y'all want him to magically turn into Nnamdi Asomugha or something? That's not who he is. Accept him for what he is and let him be who he is, and be excited that he's playing solid ball. Noah Brown looked good today. Cowboys fans were laughing at us. Oh, Lord, Noah Brown. The man called him brioche buns. He called him on the Super Friends stream when I said we got Noah Brown and we're excited about him. Brioche buns is what he called him. Well, I tell you, those sure were some yummy buns. Pause. Feed me more, Seymour. Feed me. If that's what garbage looks like, I want more trash. Send it my way. Rob thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Rob writes, BSJ with the Josh Norman punch out. Man, that was a sight for sore eyes. As much as I watch football and I see other teams doing it, I watched Fred Warner do it again today. As much as I watch teams punch it out and we don't ever do it, I'm just like, I'm so jealous. My heart was so warm when I saw that. When that ball came out and it just died there, the football guy said, here you go, right? It could have kept bouncing. It could have went out of bounds. It just died there so we could recover it. I said, who did that? He must have been reckless with it. And the replay said, nah, he won't reckless. Benjamin St. Juice went in there with purpose. He went in there with purpose. Let me say it again. He went in there with purpose. I need that to be infectious. Spread it around. Everybody, that's what it's supposed to look like. Now, let's see more of you do that. Oh, man, my heart was so warm. It was so warm and fuzzy. I was like, oh, Benjamin. Oh, that was so thoughtful of you to just presence of mind and just, oh, I felt like somebody, like one of my kids just got me a Father's Day card when I saw that. And I read it and they said, Dad, I love you. You're the best dad ever. And I was like, oh, that's how I felt watching that fumble, man. That shit warmed my heart. I want more of that. Wilfredo Elias, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, like, subscribe, and hit that like bell. Y'all heard the man. Public service announcement. You haven't already done so. It's over 1,200 of y'all out there. Only 390 likes. We can get that over 400. We should be pushing up to 600. I always like a 2-to-1 ratio. All right. You haven't hit it yet? Please do your man a favor and hit it. He says, B-Rob, grown man. Flexing on those boys. Flexing on them boys. B-Rob. Flex on them. Co, been a member for 7 months. Co writes, thank God we got a new kicker. A win's a win. Boy, he came just in time. He came just in time. If that was Cade York last week, we would have lost this game. See the difference between waiting and hoping some shit happens, which is what the last regime would have done, and going out and making some shit happen. I don't know what Austin Seibert is going to be next week or the week after that. But for this week, he was just what we needed. Hopefully, moving forward, he's the exact same way. Off to a fast start, 7-7. He'll be the NFC Special Teams Player of the Week. You can go ahead and bank that right now. Book it. Tizzy Bang. Been a member for 35 months. We getting dangerously close to that 3-year Annie. Can't tell me Patrick Peterson isn't an upgrade. We have no young corners outside worth developing. Nah, I'm not going to sit here and tell you he's an upgrade. I watched that man last year. He's old. OLD. All caps. Old. No, he's not an upgrade. I'm good. I'll pass. Thanks. Rob Yu, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Rob Yu writes, the lack of discipline in the red zone was a shock. Same here. That caught me off guard. I wasn't expecting that. You know, you get 1 or 2 mistakes in the red zone. It happens. 6 times in the red zone, 6 field goals, and like 5 penalties, 5 or 6 false starts. You got to be kidding me, right? I was in utter disbelief because at some point, I remember Miss Perry, Miss P in the mob chat said, at some point, we're going to break through and score a touchdown. And I was thinking the same thing. I didn't even need to say it. She said it. And I was like, she's so right. I'm not even going to double down on what she said because she said it perfectly. I don't need to add nothing to that. At one of these trips, we get in the end zone. By the 4th one, I had already given up hope. When B-Rob didn't score in the first one, I was like, you should have scored, bro. We're not getting a touchdown. When B-Rob didn't score in the second one, the 40-yarder, I said, you should have scored right there, bro. We're going to settle for a field goal. When Austin Eckler, when Eck caught that screen on the sideline, I thought he was gone, and I got excited, and then I saw Drew Phillips. Oh, no. Because I knew we would settle for a field goal. It was that type of day. But just keep making the field goals. If we got a field goal on the death, field goal on the death. Just keep putting points up. Just keep doing it. Going commando. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes, dare I say one of the best running back duos in the NFL? Eckler is a bulldozer and needs more touches. Ertz is a grown man. Just glad the Giants streak is over. I told you we got a lot of really good football players on offense. Nothing flashy, dynamic, right? Good football players. You can win with good football players. You win some games, right? Wily veterans that know how to get it done. You can win some football games. Will Diggs, been a member for 24 months, 2-year Annie. Shout out to Will Diggs, who writes, 200 yards rushing, facing a so-called vaunted defensive front. Ain't nothing vaunted about the Giants front. Don't let them lie to you, man. Giants fans are delusional, right? I keep telling y'all, ain't no real elite defense in this division. Ain't none of these defensive fronts elite, ours included. Ain't this division, we overrate people's fronts in this division. The Cowboys don't have an elite front. They have Micah Parsons. You block him, you can block the rest of those bums. That's what the Saints did today. Took him completely out of the game and put up a 40 burger on them boys. I mean, took a bite out of a nice, juicy 40 burger juice dripping down the side of their cheek, down their forearm. Ain't no elite defenses in this division. You better score some damn points. Al Butts, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Al writes, hate the Giants, so great day there. But where was Payne and Allen today? Good question. Absolutely unacceptable for their production in 2 weeks. On a good note, was excited for the Noah Brown pickup. He can ball. I'm gonna reserve judgment on Payne. I've never been a huge Jonathan Allen fan. Y'all know that. He's one of those dudes that talks a good talk, but again, we'll see. I'm not gonna do the whole trade these guys because I think they're a part of the solution, not the problem. All right, they'll start to produce eventually. You know, we got to get everybody. It was good to see Johnny Newton out there. He almost got a sack today. He had some pressure on one play. It's good to see him out there. And they're going to continue to grow as a unit, man. Right? They're going to get this shit together. Y'all just hold your horses, man. Hold your horses. All right. Now, if you ask me right now, does Allen deserve a contract? No, not right now. That's the only thing. I'm not trying to trade him unless the team comes knocking with a hell of an offer. But I'm not looking to do anything. Just relax. 2 games in. 2 games in. Let's see what happens moving forward. Let's see what happens. Noah Brown looked exceptional today. Exceptional. Second leading receiver today. D-Boy Trucker, 78. They been a member for 6 months. Really appreciate you, who writes. It's only 1 game, but it's the one we needed the most. You ain't lying, bruh. This, boy, today would have felt awful if we were 0-2. This would have felt awful. I mean, wow. The difference 3 points makes, right? Sheesh. Who are you telling? WW. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. WW writes, Lou, I went to the game, and frankly, there were a decent amount of Redskins fans there. And yeah, this fan base ain't accepting the name change. That's fine too. Redskins, Commanders, as long as you're supporting the team, I love it. Show up in your Redskins gear, sing hail to the Redskins when they score a touchdown. Hey, scream till your heart is content. As long as you're there for the good guys. That's all I care about. It's all I care about. J Mart, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, no shocker that the Ops #1 receiver outshined ours. Of course. Because they made a concerted effort to get him the football down the field, right? Even if it's 6 yards down the field and he broke tackles, right? He shouldn't have had as many yards as he had today. He shouldn't have. If we would have played the coverage the way it was drawn up and Michael Davis can come up and make a tackle after a 5-yard gain, Malik Neighbors doesn't have 100 yards receiving today. He would have had a good game, but he wouldn't have had 100 yards. Literally on those 3 catches that he spun outside, and he probably had 50 yards on just those 3 catches alone. Between those 3 and the 2 shallow crosses on 3rd down on man coverage where they ran the mesh concept and the defender got picked off, most of his yards were accounted on those 5 plays right there. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Antoine Hoskins, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Antoine writes, will Terry get to 1K this year? Yeah, he'll get there. He'll get there. Whether by hook or by crook, he'll get there. You know, trust me, there'll be some games where Terry explodes. Pause. I'm not worried. I'm not worried at all. D-Boy Trucker 78. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Who writes, this is one of those wins that galvanizes your team. Not to mention, I love seeing the growth from the young boy, JD. We got us one. Hashtag HTTC. I agree. I felt confident in him from all the things that I had seen and heard off-season wise leading up to the season. I just needed to see it to believe it. I believe it now. And you can't tell me nothing about my young boy. I told you he was gonna ball out today, and he did, right? And he was gonna take that momentum into Monday night. Now they're gonna be talking shit about us Monday, like, yo, you gotta see this kid. He's effing fantastic. You got to see this kid. And we're going to be must-see TV on Monday night. And we're going to see what Jayden does going up against this old LSU buddy. Fat American. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy, Fat American writes, glad we got JD5. He's been impressive. And you know what made me love this victory even more? I know Brian Daboll was like, shit, he's supposed to be ours. Damn, I wanted that kid bad. Nope, he's ours. Bad bat. Get the F back. And it warmed my heart, brought joy to my heart. Almost tears to my face to watch Brian Daboll, old hamburger head ass, slam the headset down at the end of the game when we won. Take your ass back to Jersey. Take this L with you. The hell out of my stadium. Think you was going to come in here and steal another one. Get your ass out of here. Rob U, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Rob U writes, an ugly but much needed dub. Again, I don't care what it looks like. I used to tell y'all that when we would win 17-15. I don't give a shit what it looks like. I ain't giving it back, and I'm not apologizing neither, right? I don't think I need to apologize when you don't punt and you go 7 drives, 7 scores. You just want more production. There should be more that you gain from 7 scores and winning the time of possession by 15 minutes and going 50% on 3rd down, 7 or 4. There should be more to show for it than just 7 field goals. That's all. This thing is going to take time to get the proper personnel in here. All starts with Jayden's development. So far, so good. So far, so good. Fat American, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, nah, no cap. That Bucks team is legit. Also seems like they just had a hot game against us and we had a cold game. Bucks definitely be hitting, bro. Nah, they playing football. Them Buccaneers playing ball. And it makes that loss last week more credible that they didn't go to Detroit and get trampled over. They went there. Not only did they compete, they won. They went to Detroit and won. So, says a lot about that Buccaneers team. Rob U, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Rob U writes, why have soldiers and not use them? Hashtag 17. Again, slowly but surely. Last week, we didn't use him at all. Man had 4 targets, 2 catches. This week, 8 targets, 6 catches. Again, a lot of them short underneath screens, etc., etc. But at least he was a part of the game plan and he was in the consciousness of the coaching staff. Eventually, he'll start to work his way down the field. Again, one of those catches was negated via penalty. Terry, he'll start to work down the field. Don't worry. He'll start to eat. He'll start to build that rapport with Jayden, and they'll get into a rhythm. They'll get to where he sees one-on-one with Terry outside and changes the route to a go ball. Like, they're going to get there eventually. Y'all got to have patience. Have patience. Eric Sunderland, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, someone going 16-0, Ravens, Cowboys, 49ers, Lions all lose. This is your fault, Louie. Look, I said it was going to take Games like that happening, right? I said, if everything happens chalk the way it's supposed to, somebody's going 16-0 this week. I said that. Now, what I said happened. I said, it's going to take the Giants or the Bucks. I didn't think the Cowboys were going to lose at all, but the 49ers, it was going to take teams like that to lose. I didn't think the Ravens were going to lose. I didn't think the Cowboys were going to lose. I thought it could go chalk. Look, no skin off my back. All right, because it's not the ones that you take. It's the ones you take by yourself that hurt. The ones where everybody takes the L, ain't no skin off my back. And if somebody picked the Raiders and the Saints and the Bucks all on the same sheet, well, they had a great week this week, or they probably negated it somewhere. They probably picked Denver and some other bad teams and lost to cancel it out. But guess what? If they picked all of them, I trust that they're going to shit the bed down the road. That means they're willing to roll the dice too aggressively. So I'm not worried about those people. I made up for my losses. I picked Arizona. I told y'all they were going to beat the Rams. That's 41-10 right now, okay? Kansas City is struggling with the Chiefs, but we knew that was going to happen. We'll see what happens. I feel good about my sheet. I feel good about my sheet right now. But, yeah, I thought somebody was going 16-0, right? If it went chalk, it didn't go chalk. So I'm glad. I don't want anybody going 16-0 unless it's me, okay? Unless it's me. He said this is going to be a tough week for winners and losers. It won't be as bad as you think, right? Still, it's going to be somebody with a 12-4. It'll be somebody with an 11-5. It just won't be me. I won't be the one with it. But, shit, I'm not complaining. I think I'm going to go 10-6 again. And I feel good about that. Mike Leslie, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy Mike writes, a moment of silence for the Cowboys. Ba, ba, ba. Ba, ba, ba. Ba, ba, ba. Ba, ba, ba. Ba, ba. Moment of silence for the Cowboys today. 41-19. Bow on the chin. Down goes Cowboys. Down goes Cowboys. Man, that was fun to watch. If you were in the mob chat, every time the Saints scored again, I put it in the chat. And Alvin Kamara scored another touchdown. He had 4 of them today. I put it in the chat. Man, that was fun. It ain't nothing like watching them get their brains bashed out on one TV while my boys are finding a way to gut it out on the other TV. That's what you call a picturesque Sunday. And by beating the Giants, you're killing 2 birds with 1 stone, because now nobody in the division but us has a dub this week. Of course, I still expect the Eagles to win on Monday night, but be nice if the Falcons could do us a huge solid. Be nice if they could do us a huge solid. Court Casino, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, Lou, my guy, we see you, BSJ. Stand up, baby. Hey, man, they're going to put some respect on. Y'all going to make me turn into a Benjamin St. Juste apologist like I had to do for Kendall Fuller. Y'all going to make me be that way. I don't want to do that, but y'all going to make me do it. Don't y'all push me. Don't you push me. Because I'll do it. I'll do it. Derek B, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, you lied to me when you said this defense would be good. You lied to me because it's trash, because it's trash. I deserve that. I deserve that. Hands up, palms up. Show me palms. Show me hands. They up. I deserve it. I asked for that one. I thought the defense would be better. I'm not giving up on this defense. I still think they're going to be a solid unit, but this talk of top 12, all that shit that I was talking about, that shit is gone. We are not a top 12 unit this year. But do we have to be bottom third of the league? No. I still think this can be the 19th best defense in football. I still believe that. And I'm going to continue hope that I see the changes and the progress being made. But right now, it's rough. We don't tackle well. Fundamentally, we're just not doing the little things correctly. We can't cover anybody man to man right now. And then the pressure, it works hand in hand. We want to beat up the secondary. How about you get pressure on the quarterback? At least last week there was pressure and we just couldn't finish. There was zero pressure this week. None. One sack. I deserve that, Derek B. Touche. Sean Moorer, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. Sean writes, bro, my aunt said, tell your man Louie T thanks for her tickets. It was her first ever game. Thanks again, bro. No problem. Glad I could put 2 Commanders' butts in seats and do my part to help get the first win of North Dub Stadium. It was good. And tell your aunt I said, you're welcome. You're welcome. Will Diggs, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. Will Diggs, right? Lou, did we find our kicker? I sure hope so. I told y'all I wasn't confident in him. One game doesn't make a kicker, but it sure does help when you go 7 of 7, including the game winner. It's off to a, like I said, you're talking to, put some respect on his name. You're talking to the NFC Special Teams Player of the Week in Austin Cyber. Put some respect on that man's name. Why don't you? And Austin Cyber also kicks the ball in the landing zone. How many times did the Giants start at the 30 because we kicked it out of bounds? You're going to have to run that bitch to the 30. And a couple of times our special teams unit got back there, dropped their ass at the 22, dropped their ass at the 25. Hey, ain't no free passes around here no more, man. You want it at the 30? Run that bitch back to the 30. So not only is he making field goals, he kicking that bitch in the landing zone. Run that shit back. I like it a lot. I hope we found our kicker. I'm not 100% sure, but he's off to a hell of a start. Jensen Richards, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Jensen writes, finally got them Giants. Was ugly, but I'll take it. That's all that matters, is we got the dub. 3 weeks from now, ain't nobody going to be sorting through all of the wreckage to find out, oh, man, it was 21 with 7 field goals. 3 weeks from now, it's just a win in the left-hand column. Let me get that. Let me get it. I need it. Thanks. DJ23, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you, who writes, new Commanders log, surviving the Giants. Look, man, it's always a struggle when it comes, for some reason, and it's just certain teams. That's what it always looks like against them. Eventually, that's going to change. Even when Eli was here, just think about all the Giants games. Even when Eli used to always beat us, they always look like that. Low scoring. If it did turn into a high scoring game, it was still close. It was still close a lot of times. It always looked like that against the Giants for whatever reason. DMV Bay, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, can someone put an APB out on Allen or Payne? Maybe they never got off the bus from last week. Still baffled by their non-impact so far. I see where this is going. This is going to be a whole thing, till they do something. So I hope they do something next week so this whole narrative can go away. Because, like I said, Payne was super impactful last week. He just didn't have the stats to back it up. Allen really hasn't had an impact to this point. But again, I want to watch the tape, but I kind of know what it is. I think I know what the tape is going to reveal, but I'll watch it. We'll see. We'll see. But I see where this is going. All right. Burrow, touchdown. And they're up 22-17 on the Chiefs now. So that one's Pittsburgh's defense doing what I thought they would do to a young quarterback. It's 13-0 in that game. Mr. Pink, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. Mr. Pink writes, sup, LTEE? What's going on with you, Mr. Pink? A whole offseason circus at kicker, and we go into this game expecting nothing and get everything. This short mother effing Seabiscuit just saved our lives. Players lifted him up like Rudy. I saw that at the end of the game. I loved every second of that. I took that Austin Seibert, carry off the field, and I said, man, that's dope. I watched the locker room scrum, and they were talking to him, and they asked him, why do you think this is going to be different? And he's just like, I'm gonna just approach it the way I always approached it. And one of the reporters tweeted out, maybe 5th time's the charm. Maybe it is. Maybe the football guy said, remember I told you I got a few in the tuck for you? One of the ones I have in the tuck for you, because Austin Seibert is another young kicker, right? Maybe he said, I got a kicker for you. Because we're normally the destination where a kicker goes to cut his teeth in the league, work out the kinks, figure it out. And by the time he leaves here, he goes and becomes a tremendous kicker for someone else. Maybe he cut his teeth around the league, and now he's ready to be a good kicker, and we reap the benefits of it for the first time. Maybe it's our turn, finally. That'd be nice. I want to see, the Jags let me down today. Boy, the Jags. Whew. Browns stink, and they let them beat them. I can't wait. I know they're going to give us some locker room coverage. I know Austin Seibert got a game ball. I can't wait to watch it. I know they're going to give us a little something in the locker room. Don Everhart, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Big ups to my guy, Don. Thank you for the support, as always. Really appreciate the generosity. My guy, Don, writes, I remember you saying that if we're going to win games, we'll need a kicker. That proved true today. I told you, with the way our roster is set up and how we're going to play football and how we're going to win games, there won't be many blowouts. Trust me. Unless one of these games that we did today, what we did, but the drives in and touchdowns, usually if you score on 7 possessions and 5 of them are touchdowns, that's 40 points. Assuming you make every extra point, right? 5 touchdowns and 2 field goals is 41 points. So again, if we do this again, but we find pay dirt, you could blow somebody out. But the likelihood of that happening is slim and none. The Giants stink. Who are we kidding? Okay. You're not going to run into too many defenses that are going to allow us to not punt. But we were effective last week. We were effective again this week. So I have no reason to believe that we can't be effective on offense. But it'd be foolish to think that we're going to be able to duplicate what we did and replicate what we did today with no punts. But just understand that a lot of our games are going to come down to field goal, extra points, things of that nature. And if we got a kicker that's making kicks, we're going to have a chance. That's all you can ask for. Give me a chance. That did prove so true today, Don. Little did we know he'd be the offense. Just Andre, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. My guy, Just Andre, writes, cornerback is the biggest need after 2 weeks. I don't see any position being worse this season. Witt was bad. You can only do so much with Forbes, Juice, Davis as cornerbacks. Witt was bad today, but like I said, I'm going to cut him a little bit of a break because some of it was just guys fundamentally not doing the things that they've been taught to do, right? I would love to see what kind of leverage Mike Sainristil was playing with on that touchdown that they had on the pressure down by the goal line to 17, right? I would love to see if he was playing with inside or outside leverage, because one of the things that Joe Witt talked about is playing with proper leverage. And was he playing with outside leverage or inside? Because Wan'Dale Robinson sure did still get outside. If he was playing with outside leverage, he still crossed his face outside, right? I want to watch the tape. I didn't like some of the calls, and I know I'm not going to like them upon further review, but he's growing too. Remember, this is his first time as a coordinator. Like, we got to have patience. I'm guilty with Joe Witt in particular. Not so much the rest of the team. I'm not impatient there. I'm a little impatient with some of the calls, but this is his first time calling plays. He's still trying to feel out the talent that he does have and figuring out what's the best usage for everybody. And then once you kind of get into a rhythm and you know what you got, then you can do, you are allowed to do whatever it is you feel like you can do. So we still got some things to figure out there. Jensen Richards, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Who writes, our kicker had 200 plus yards. He didn't kick far field goals, but I mean, you start adding up the 30s over and over again. 30 times 7 is 200. So yeah, they weren't far, but they add up on the scoreboard for sure. Ethan Dykes, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy. Hey, writes, double up. I think it should double up right here. Wanted Terry to shut Banks up so bad, throw it to him. I saw them John on the field too, right? After one of Terry's catches, the one where I think he caught the deep out cut. I think Terry was talking to him after that one. I'm just glad we beat him, I'm just glad we beat him. I too wanted Terry to go off on him, and it might happen eventually. We just got to be patient. Spence Collies, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. Who writes, when was the last time we never punted? Crazy. I couldn't tell you. And I'm not going to do the thing that I always do when I go, man, I know it's been a long time. I'm like, actually, Louie Tee, back in 2022, when we played against the Panthers, we did not punt in that game. So I don't know. I can't tell you the last time we had. It just feels like it's been an eternity. And it's not just that we didn't punt, because I bet you there's a game that we didn't punt in, but we had turnovers. We scored a couple times. We went for it on 4th down, and we actually never punted. I'm talking about 7 possessions, 7 scores. When's the last time we did that? That's the real question. When's the last time we scored on every single possession that we had in a game? That I don't recall us ever doing. I mean, there wasn't even a kneel down for us, right? At any point to say, okay, 8 possessions, but 7 scores. There was no kneel down before half. The Giants walked off the first half, essentially. I lied. We did have the ball, didn't we? We had the ball at the end of the first half, and we took a knee into the halftime break. Shucks. So technically speaking, we had 8 possessions and 7 scores. But we all know the truth, right? It was 7 for 7. JP, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you, my guy. John Perez, thank you for being a member of the MOBB, writes, Lou, we finally effing did it. First win for JD. Run game was great. Daboll, big mad, and I love it. Sloppy game, though it was, but I loved it too. I loved the old Hamburglar head slamming down his headset. I loved it. Made me so excited to see him mad, big mad. Jason Rogers, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. My guy, Uncle Jay, writes, just left the game. Stadium was jumping. Serving is trash at Jasper's. I'll catch up with y'all later on my way to Jersey. Love it. Glad you were able to come down here, get the dub, and take it back with you. Give you some bragging rights back at the crib. Candace Brown, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Candace writes, 7 field goals was a team record? Question mark. Yes. I don't know if the 7 made field goals in a game was a record. I know going 7 of 7 was a record. 6 of 6 was a record. Not to mention the 7th one and deciding one was a record extender. So yes, my guess is we've never had a kicker make 7 kicks in one game. That's my guess, but I wouldn't put it past us. But no kicker has gone perfect while making 7 kicks in the organization. I do know that. RVA point of view. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, Lou, what's good? What's good with you? I was getting Will Jack the third vibes from Michael Davis today. Just nasty. Yeah, it was rough. And I had such high hopes for Michael Davis. You made it easy for them to rationalize not putting you on the field. They already didn't trust you before, clearly, by not putting you on the field. And with no defensive snaps last week. And you made it a lot easier for them to justify not putting you on the field. That was hard to watch. It really was. Kevin, the PRF. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, don't call me Michael Davis. Earlies are tackled. Man. Yeah. Let's get to some of the earlies. All right. We're going to start off with Rev God. Stand up. You are the newest member of the MOBB. JLG, stand up. You too are a brand new member of the MOBB. Let me see if there are any more mobsters. Okay, no, that's it. Welcome to the squad, Rev God and JLG. Jared Fromp, or no, let me go back. Joshua Farish, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy Josh writes, Lou, were we coached by Mike Tomlin today? That was a Mike Tomlin type dub. It's funny that you bring that up. Mike Tomlin out here gutting it out again, 13-0 on the road against Denver. Felt like a Mike Tomlin type win. You know, the type that gets you to 8-9, 9-8 at season's end with a chance to make the playoffs. That felt like a Mike Tomlin type win. Metro Cash. Metro writes, red zone, needs work bad. Defense would have had 42 on them, on those boys. Yeah, we could have definitely scored some points today. Rich, been a member for 34 months. My guy Rich writes, Juice had a day. Not perfect, though, but a good game. I think so, too. I think he's largely gotten a rough rap here. And the expectations for him are through the roof for some reason. And I thought he was solid today. Ethan Dykes. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Ethan says, worst win I have ever seen. I feel dirty taking it. We won because Gano got hurt and Neighbors dropped that ball. My God, we suck. That's the kind of energy that I ain't really fooling with right now. That kind of energy right there, you can miss me with that energy because I've been a fan long enough to have seen some ugly wins and hear fans react that way to it. And now that I've gone through it, and I've seen that wins don't come often in this league, and we got a long way to go, but a win is a win. You're not going to make me feel bad about a win. I don't feel dirty about this win. I don't give a shit how ugly it looked. Ethan, you act as if you're a Chiefs fan, and you get to be dissatisfied with a win. That's a poor take, Ethan. Now, you can feel how you want to feel. I'm not telling you how to feel. But we're not the Chiefs. We don't get to poo-poo a victory no matter how it looks. The fact that we were a 4-win team last year, you should be happy we won. I mean, that's crazy to me. I don't get. To me, I don't give a shit what it looks like. We won, damn it. That's all I care about. We'll figure out the particulars later. Give me the dub. Royal Stacks. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Royal Stacks writes, felt like the Giants got commandered. No kicker. Dropped the ball at the wrong time. F them. A dub is a dub. Fix red zone offense, though. Sheesh. Exactly. The shit that normally happens to us happened to them. We tried to lose, but they wanted to lose more than we did, right? Baby steps. That's what I call it. Baby steps. Baby steps is what I call it. Thank you for that, Kevin, the PRF. Greatly appreciate you as always. RVA, point of view. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. All right. Also, did John Allen or Deron Payne suit up today? Yeah, they both were on the field, man. Yeah, I know it's going to be a lot of that until they make some plays. I guess that's just what it's going to be. And so, okay, Chiefs have retaken the lead. What's going on with Kyler Murray? Okay, the game over. That was a big win for them. Denver is down 13-3. Trying to get a stop on third down. All right. Jayden with that hurry up after the Ertz catch. First of all, I just like the tempo that we play with. But I, too, was like, hey, hurry up. Get down there. I'm not sure if they're going to try to take it from us or what. And I just like the tempo we play with. So when we do go tempo, it's not like a surprise or it's not like we're not prepared because we play with tempo now. You know, every week we go tempo at some point. And Jayden had the presence of mind to say, I'm not sure if it's a catch or not, but let's just get up here and let's get something going quick. Right? Chauncey Davis, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. OG triple OG. My guy Chauncey writes, 17 has been a guinea pig on this team for the past 3 years. Watch the film. Please relax on Terry. He'll be fine. I'm not worried about 17. Again, baby steps. We went from 4 targets last week to 8 this week. We went from 2 catches last week to 6 this week. Baby steps. The yards will come. The touchdowns will come. I just want activity right now. We got more of it this week. I like that. The rest will come. The rest will come. Just Andre, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Just Andre writes, the refs were awful today. I guess. I didn't love the game they called, but I'm not tripping about it. Again, if we would have lost this game, I wouldn't have blamed the officials, but I thought they did have a rough go of it today. But it is what it is. They're human. They're going to make mistakes. Find a way to win. We did. GT7, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. GT7 writes, Michael Davis, rough. BSJ, Austin, we got a kicker, and the Giants are 0-2. Dallas got smoked. Our offense is fun. B-Rob, hot damn, and tomorrow is Victory Monday. Say it louder for Ethan all the way in the back, who feels dirty about the dub. Say it a little bit louder that tomorrow is Victory Monday. Ethan, you can take another bath tomorrow, too. It'll still be a dub. All right? I ain't telling you how to feel, but damn it, celebrate. We 1-1 and tied for second place in the division with a chance to be tied for first. I don't feel dirty at all. Rather clean. Ding! RJ710. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Your mom's favorite player. Been a member for 35 months. Almost there. Almost at the 3-year Annie. Writes, man, we converted every third down except on our field goals. Pretty much. We I mean, we went 0 of 7 in scoring time. And those third downs were the ones that prompted us to kick field goals. We did go for it on fourth down, though. Twice. So, or was it once? The Giants went for it on fourth down twice. We went for it on fourth down on the opening possession once. We were lining up to go for it on fourth down again, and then had the false start and had to kick the field goal. So, yeah. Should be. T-Roy, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. T-Roy, thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, I was at the game. I had one job and we got the win. Look, I'm proud of every single member of you that were in attendance at this game. You had one job to do. You knew the assignment and you got it done. I'm proud of y'all. Job well done. Lang Hughes, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Lang Hughes writes, love how JD's game is building. I'm going to say it. I think we got the offensive rookie of the year right here in Washington. We're going to watch Caleb tonight. We're going to set eyes on Caleb. I watched that game again. I watched it again this morning. Caleb's game against he was awful. Now, in his defense, he had a touchdown dropped by Keenan Allen. A lot of batted balls. Nobody's talking about his height. A lot of batted balls. He missed DJ Moore on a big ball down the field. You know, he a little antsy in the pocket. He's not going to hurt you with his legs. I think we got the offensive rookie of the year right here in Washington. We already got one offensive rookie Pepsi of the Week award in our back pocket from week 1. Dare I say we got another one. I don't know what the other rookies around the league did today. Can't say, right? But didn't score any touchdowns, so I don't know. But 23 of 29 for 226 with another 44 yards on top. I'm not saying. I'm just saying. Love the way his game is building for sure. Don Everhart, really, truly do appreciate you for your generosity. Shout out to the 10 newest members of the MOBB courtesy of Don Everhart. Truly, truly, really do appreciate you, Don Everhart. Salute to you, my man. Thank you so much for your generosity. And big ups to the brand new members of the squad, courtesy of Don Everhart and his generosity. Shout out to Don. Hove, been a member for 11 months, almost at that 1 year. Annie, really appreciate your rights. Mortimer, we're back. Nah, JK, we finally got him. Just joking. Just kidding. We got him. We got him. I feel like Nas on the album when he was talking to Khalees, but we got him though. But we got him. But I got him though. We got him. Yeah, it was dirty. It was sloppy. It was ugly. Could have been a lot worse. Probably should have lost, but we got him though. I got him, babe. I got him. We got him though. We got him though. Kenny Butts, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Kenny writes, I'm impressed with Jayden Daniels. Yeah. I am as well. Very impressed. Feel like we got us one for sure. Joshua Farish, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Joshua writes, make sure you change the loss column to the Giants to 2. Yeah. So what happened was I made a mistake and made them 1-1 in my haste. And I deleted the 1 and put it back to 0. And I forgot to put the 2, turn the 1 to a 2. I was so excited. I was rushing. You know what I mean? I just make sure I get it right on our side. That's what's important. 1-1, right? Got 1 in the left-hand column now. Kenny Butts, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Really appreciate you, Kenny. My guy, Mr. Ron B. OG, triple OG, writes, Lou, are you still holding on to your Michael Davis equals Ronald Darby 2.0 comp? And we might still need him. Today was rough. Today was rough. It did. My Michael Davis has a chance to be Ronald Darby 2024. Took a hit today, a massive, massive hit. If you were buying stock in that product, you lost a lot of money today. I lost a lot of my Michael Davis equals Ronald Darby 2020. I lost a lot of money in that stock today. I didn't sell it all together, but boy, I took a beating today. It's okay. I'm not running. I'm standing 10 toes down in my shit. I still think he can help. And we may need him at some point. Looks more like Mike Davis equals Idi Jamo. Look at you going in the bag. A blast from the past in Idi Jamo. What? Half the fan base doesn't even know who the hell you talking about. Idi Jamo. Look at you. Jace Jackson. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Jace writes, it feels different because it is different. But damn near having a heart attack every Sunday is the same. That hasn't changed yet. If we can score touchdowns on all these drives, we can hang in a lot of games. I can't promise you that we won't go 0 for 7 or 0 for 6, excuse me, in the red zone. But I feel almost confident that you'll never see this happen again. I almost feel confident that you won't see this again. We got a chance offensively every week to hang in and give ourselves a chance. Frankie, yo, been a member for 29 months. Really appreciate you. Right. How about Eckler with the flying knee to Phillips? Yeah, I already said he gave him a Sagat right to the dome piece. Like homeboy's niece at Jones Beach. Right? I don't ever want to see somebody get hurt, right? He got shook up by that knee. But I said Eck is one big muscle. Like running into him is not fun. And that knee was nasty right there on the sideline. Kirkin Slush. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, what up, Lou? What up, Kirkin? Neighbors knew after that drop, 5 was going to take it down for the win. His face told it all. Ugly, but we'll take. Oh, you saw him. He was sick. He was sick. He wanted to go in a corner and hide, bro, because he already knew who we had on the other sideline. And he already know. I'm pretty sure him and Jayden had a lofty bet. They probably 20 stacks on the winner of this game. They both got it. They both good for it. They both signed ridiculous contracts as top 7 picks in the draft. I bet you they bet 20 stacks on this game. And that wasn't the look of, oh man, I just let my team down. That was the look of, damn, I'm down 20 stacks. He looked sick. He knew what 5 was about to do. He knew. Kenny Butts, stand up. You are the newest member of the MOBB. Mob, y'all know what to do. Show Kenny some love. Welcome him with open arms to the squad. Welcome aboard. So glad to have you, Kenny. Metaphor, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes, don't think no TDs. Last drive, if we needed it, in. I don't know. At this point, with the way the day had gone, I'm just going to say no touchdowns. I don't think we were going to score a touchdown there either. What makes you think that was going to be any different than the first 5 times we got into the red zone on the day, right? Nothing was different for me. We knew what we needed. Good execution. Get down there, center the football, kick the field goal. Let's all drive home safely. I'm gonna just leave it where it is. Let it be what it is. Jack Miller, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Jack writes, thank you for being a member of the MOBB. Jack writes, see, can we work on discipline for our offensive line and cornerbacks this week in practice? That's part of Tell the Truth Monday. Don't think it won't be, because it will be. All right. That's a huge part of Tell the Truth Monday. We can't have it. We're not good enough. If we were playing anybody but the Giants, this is the loss probably, right? Because you can't do that. You can't have those type of mistakes. You usually lose. You go 0 of 6 in the red zone, you're asking for a loss. You're begging for it. Practically begging for it. BJ McDowell, been a member for 7 months. Appreciate you, writes, if we give B-Rob the ball in the red zone, I'm assuming you're talking about, things would have changed drastically. Yeah, but you can't give him, they gave him the ball in the red zone. He got it on first down. There were second down carries he had. We ran it on third down one time. It wasn't with him, it was with Eck. But you can't run it on 3rd and 9 after a false start penalty, right? Like, at some point, you just got to be more effective in the red zone. Throwing it, running it, all of it. Dream Team Buddha. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. Who writes, BSJ, Hunnit. Hashtag number 0, growing but getting cooked. Yeah, he's a youngin'. I always say the cornerback position is no country for old men, but the young guys got to get baptized by fire. So you come in as a youngin', and you got to get blessed, because these are professionals out here. So you got to get blessed. He'll get better. Get well, 13. Yeah. Got to win. Shauna Gang, thank you for the super chat. Really appreciate you. I kind of feel like how you looking in your thumbnail, like, we're We got that dab. GT7, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Pause. I just saw the playback of that. That looked a little. Y'all ain't supposed to see that face from me. Only my wife's supposed to see that face from me. GT7, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Giants swore they were going to beat us. Dayball was hot, laughing my ass off. I loved it. I loved it. That slamming of the headset it made my day. Then I saw them carrying Austin Seibert off the field, and I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. Daddy, yes. Can you get my food? Yes. Go sit down and eat, man. Okay. Don't bothering me. Sorry. Josh Gates, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. Who writes, "Sup, Louie? Good to see the narrative of this team changing. Still uncertain about what we are capable of, but it's a start. And that's what y'all got to understand. It's a process. I got to allow this process to play itself out. Time to turn it up, get lit, maybe a couple of drinks. The Giants pack is heat. You ain't been smoking that for a while, right? So it's good. It's going to feel good to smoke that Giants pack a little bit. You ain't smoked that one in a little bit. Red Wings 01, been a member for 23 months, almost at their 2-year Annie. My guy, Red Rings 01, writes, they're not going to do it, but please start Cole Luke at right tackle. They're not going to do it. And I don't know if y'all saw this, but I think Coleman went down with an injury today. I don't know if y'all saw that. Y'all might have missed it in the haste of the game, but it was a third down. JD got sacked. They called a penalty on the Giants secondary for holding on the play where Ertz got tackled, essentially. And Coleman came off the field limping. I think he injured his ankle on that play. So hold your horses, all right? Stop the presses there. We'll see what happened. Chauncey Davis, my guy, OG, triple OG Chauncey, writes, Lou, watching KC and Cincy Burrow is a dog. We already know that, especially when he plays the Chiefs. Last week was an aberration. They're probably going to win that game today. My guess is they're going to win that game. Last time I checked, I think the Chiefs had retaken the lead. That's a back and forth seesaw affair. But we already know he's going to bless us next week. And they're going to get T. Higgins back next week. They're going to bless us next week. Oh, don't you worry. It's going to get ugly. Metaphor, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. Metaphor, right? 17 just on that intermittent fasting. No worries. He'll be fine. I'm not tripping. I'm not tripping on 17. It's a process, like I said. And we just trying to build up. We just trying to build up. Let's see what the score is in this Bengals game. Bengals got the ball. 25-23. They up 2 with the football. I ain't tripping about Terry. Barrett Downing, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Barrett Downing, my guy, BD. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, writes, Lou, 24 had me thinking Forbes changed his jersey and snuck in. It was hard to watch that, man. That reminded me more of William Jackson III. Somebody brought him up earlier. He tackled like that. Even Forbes will mix it up. Forbes will get in there and try to throw his body around. That shit was pathetic from Michael Davis. That shit was trash. Just really disappointed in his inability to understand the proper angle that he needed to take. I mean, it's okay, you did it the first time. All right. Clean it up the second time. He did it 3 times. Video channel. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes? Jamin Davis, healthy scratch thoughts. That was interesting. They apparently felt like they needed somebody at another position, due to some of the injuries. They just wanted to make sure that they had an extra guy up, probably at a position, and they had to take away from somewhere. And so they decided to go, away from Jamin today. I mean, knowing that Quan had, an issue, knowing that Cleveland came in with a little bit of an issue, and they had brought up some other guys, it might have forced them to maybe lean in a different direction. So it is what it is. I wouldn't make too much of it. Jason Smith, stand up. You are the newest member of the MOBB. Mob, you know what to do. Show Jason some love. Welcome with open arms. Jason, welcome to the squad. Glad to have you. Doug H, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Doug writes, should Defoe get put in the game? Chin was awful. I've seen a lot of hate for Jeremy Chin. I don't know where this is coming from. He had the fumble recovery. I'll have to watch. You know, a lot of people told me Chin sucked last week. I didn't see it. I didn't see that he sucked. Was he great? No, last week. He didn't suck. Defoe's not even active. So they're telling you how much they think of Defoe, right? He's not even active. Hasn't been active the first 2 weeks. Let me get a quick little Bet US read in here, man. Looking for a new book this football season? Bet US is the answer. Fastest payouts in the industry. Get 10% back on your net losses twice a year. All right. And then Bet US has upped the ante for my viewers. Not 125, but now 150% sign up bonus for up to $2,000 on your first 3 deposits when you use the promo code YouTube 150. Look, man, I'm trying to get y'all some money. Bet US is handing out bread. I'm trying to push y'all in that direction. If you're not a degenerate, if you're not a bettor, don't worry about it. But if you out here gambling, I'm trying to get you some bread. Bet US is out here giving away some money. They said B-Rob at 55.5 as his rushing total. They are asking you to, let me get some of that. They are asking you to take some of this money off their hands. Zach Ertz last week, 23.5. They asking you, here, you want some? Here you go. Go get it. Brian Prato, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Brian writes, why did we just revert the field name back to Jack Kent Cooke Stadium? Because who paid for that? Northwest Bank, I believe is the bank. They paid for that. That's why. There ain't no money in Jack Kent Cooke Stadium. Ain't no money in that unless the Jack Kent Cooke family is going to pay, you know, the Commanders organization money to have the stadium named after their late dad. If that ain't the case, ain't no money in that. It's all about money. David Brown, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy, Dave, thank you for being a member of the MOBB, writes, it's a shame. I'm more concerned about the defense than the offense, considering we have a rookie QB versus a defensive head coach, but a dub is a dub. You know what? I'm starting to think to myself that these struggles defensively, I should have kind of baked them into having a new defensive coordinator with a bunch of new parts, trying to figure it out. I probably should have baked that in, and I didn't. That's on me. You know what I'm excited about, Dave? That's one less shot that I have to take at the end of the year due to our bet. That's one less shot of Grand Marnier that your man Louie Tee is going to have to take. All right? One less shot. Hey, how about it? Celebrate. Christopher McLaughlin, my guy Chris. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Christopher McLaughlin, my guy Chris Mack. Thank you for being a huge member of the MOBB. Really, truly do appreciate you, as you know. Who writes, hey, Lou, hope all is well with you and the family. Likewise, Chris. Glad we won. 2 questions. 1, how much of the red zone issues today were execution versus play calling, especially with the penalties? And 2, what do you think of Noah Brown? What do you think Noah Brown can be for this offense and why? So the first question, I'll just say, it was more so the penalties. The execution was, or the play calling wasn't great in some of those instances, but I felt like the penalties really hurt them and put them in some tough spots. But the play calling wasn't great down there because we weren't really looking to throw and be aggressive down in the red zone. A lot of the plays were runs, right? And then you run on first down, get to 2nd and 8, and then you run again on 3rd down, and then you find yourself in 3rd and 6, and then you got a false start. And now you're in 3rd and 11, and now you feel like, okay, let's just get something. Let's not do anything stupid here. And so it was a bit of both, but it was more so the penalties hurting us than it was the play calling. All right. You get a little bit closer, and I think we would have found a way to get it in, right? Jayden's legs then become a huge problem at that point. Noah Brown, as we saw today, got a chance to be huge for this offense. He's got a chance to be dynamic and really help us. So I'm excited about him, and the impact was felt immediately today. You know, big catches by Noah Brown. He got 2 out of the 4 catches he had were drive starters, big catches to really jumpstart a drive that led us to field goals, including the game winner. He's going to be great for us. And these were some tough catches too. You know, well, 2 of them were tough catches. One of them, he was wide open. Jayden hit him, and he got yards after the catch. I'm glad he plays for our team. And you say why? Because he gives us a dimension that we don't have at the receiver position. He adds size, and he can run. He's not slow, and he's got size. One of those balls Jayden put up there, and he had to reach up and grab. And you saw that size on display and that wingspan and catch radius, and nobody else offers us that. You know? Brandon Thomas, been a member for 23 months. Greatly appreciate you. Almost at that 2-year Annie. Writes, this is where we missed Kendall opposite of Juice. I honestly don't know why this group didn't re-sign Kendall Fuller. I know he was older. They could have sat him to a 2-year deal, right? With an option to get out after 1 if, you know what I'm saying, they weren't satisfied with his play. I just felt like Kendall there was still value in having Kendall Fuller here. But that's no here. It can't cry over spilt milk. That's no here nor there at this point. He's gone. He's in Miami. Wish him nothing but the best. Edward Washington, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Edward. Ed Dub. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. Writes, excited for what this offense is going to grow into. Think we are going to make some noise next season when we draft some cornerbacks. I said this after week 1. I think we can I said we were going to keep tabs on this throughout the season. But after 2 weeks of football, the biggest need on the team right now, to me, is tackle. You have to upgrade tackle next year to protect your investment. So right now, after week 1, it was corner. After week 2 is tackle with a very close second, corner. CJ the Great, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. CJ the Great writes, considering the way we played, this is a win. Is this a win truly to be proud of? Hell yeah, it is. Any win is one to be proud of. We did not punt today. Hell yeah, I'm excited. Our rookie quarterback went 23 of 29 for 226, no turnovers, 10 rushes, 44 yards, no turnovers, no fumbles, like he had 2 fumbles last week, no fumbles this week, and had a game-winning drive. And oh, by the way, the one thing that I was most concerned about, kicker, 7 of 7, including the game winner. Yeah, I'm proud of this win. Absolutely, I am. I can't speak for you out there. With better play calling, the Giants would have kicked the field goal and 2 extra points. Sure, you're not wrong. That's not my problem. Their kicker getting hurt, not our problem. Them dropping a football on 4th down, not our problem. Them fumbling the ball, we forced that fumble, by the way. Ball is life, not our problem. We did what we needed to do to win. That's all I'm concerned about. Or as I always like to say, let the losers worry about losing. Denver, do they have the ball? Is the question here. It's 3rd and 4. Steelers have the ball, a 1st down, and the game is over. Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs down to their last breath. Fields breaks a tackle. but can't get the first down. Denver has no more timeouts, though. So they're going to run that thing all the way down about 15 seconds and punt. Chiefs are now down to their last 53 seconds. They have all 3 of their timeouts, though. So this game is not over, even if they don't convert this. Let's see where they are. It's 4th and 6 in this game. Where are they on the field? They're at their own 45. So this is a pretty big deal, because even if you don't get this, they're almost already in field goal range. Wide open, but there's a penalty on the play. I'm assuming that's on the Chiefs. It's coming back. They about to lose now. That was a big play. That was going to get them almost in the field goal range. They just called the Chiefs for holding, probably. Legal hands to the face. Offense number 64. Boy, that's a big one. That one hurts. Yeah, oh yeah, he did get him in the face. Damn. So unnecessary, too. Just poor hand placement. Now it's 4th and 16. They lost now. They ain't converting that one. CJ the Great, you're not wrong. You know, the Giants could have won the game, but they didn't. It's as simple as that. They could have won the game, but they didn't. Joe Burrow continues his dominance over Patrick Mahomes. This is incredible. That of all the teams in the league, Mahomes cannot beat the Bengals. Red Wing 01, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. Red Wing 01 writes, I see people unfairly saying Cliff called a bad game despite how well we moved the ball and the line melting down in the red zone. But he was predictable with all the screens. Better teams will stop that. Look, you want to get your young quarterback in a rhythm early in the game. The Giants stopped the screen game. Those screens to Terry, they didn't go for anything. Like, our screen game was not successful today. So, like, this notion that all we ran was screens, false. We ran a lot of screens, don't get me wrong. But that was why we won the game, and that's not why we moved the football, right? Mahomes extending. And incomplete. Flag. Uh-oh. Mahomes might have some life. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. What y'all calling here? Ain't no way. What we got? Y'all talk about it now. Yeah, he was there early. He was there early. Yes, you were. Pass interference defense. Chiefs about to go win this game. Damn. He was there early, too. So, Red Wings 01, to your point, the screens are predictable. You know they're coming. The defense knows they're coming. We have to do a better job of blocking these screens. But that screen he ran to Austin Eckler was cute. The play calling was good. I in the red zone, I didn't love the play calling in the red zone necessarily, but a lot of that was due to the circumstances, right? He had a hell of a game. I'm not going even. Cliff, 2 weeks in a row, I've been impressed with Cliff Kingsbury. You know, 2 weeks in a row. Christopher McLaughlin, thank you for your generosity. Really, truly do appreciate you. My guy, Chris Mack, gifting 10 memberships. Stand up. You're in the building to the 10 new members blessed by my guy, Chris McLaughlin. Thank you for your generosity as always. Really, truly do appreciate you. And shout out to all the new members who have been blessed by Chris Mack as members and his generosity. Greatly appreciate you. And once again, thank you for the 10 new members. GT7, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. GT7 writes, this false narrative that Cliff doesn't use pre-snap motion is ridiculous. And I think that hit on JD5 made him lock in. And tomorrow is Victory Monday. Yes, sir. Say it loud. It's Victory Monday, and I'm proud. Say it loud. It's Victory Monday, and I'm proud. Can't make me feel bad. Look, there are pre-snap motions and things of that nature, but it's not a big part of his offense. A lot of times it feels like he's using the motion to kind of decipher, zone versus man, or to get them moving around. If you the Chiefs, you really would like to get a lot closer than where you are right now. Not that Butker can't hit the field goal from 50 whatever yards, but you would really like to get a lot closer than where you are right now if you the Chiefs, to be honest. I mean, that's a 50, that's a 40, that's a 50-yard field goal. And the Bengals don't have no timeout. So this is it. Either you win or you lose right here. Yeah, there's a lot of false narratives being perpetuated about this team right now that are untrue. And I think one about Cliff and the play calling being bad, this, that, and the third. I think that's one of the false narratives right now. So we'll see. Let me see what happens in this game to finish up. All right. This is for the win. Can Patrick Mahomes get it done? It's from 51 yards. And it is good. And the Chiefs win. Got him. Joe Burrow pissed. So you know what it is now. They 0-2. They got to have it on Monday. You know what it is. You know what it is. They got it done. Bengals are now 0-2, so you already know they showing up on Monday with bad intentions. They looking to take it out on somebody, and that somebody is going to be us. So if we come with that same defensive, intensity, hey. Okay, you drank your juice? Good. Yes? Okay, good. So Icy Wayne, love the name once again. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, was at the game, fans showed out. I couldn't really get a sense for watching it on television how live it was. I could tell you it wasn't overwhelmingly Giants fans. That's what I could tell from watching it on television. I couldn't tell how live it was. I'd have to rely on those that were in attendance to be able to tell you what it was or what it wasn't, right? But it's good to hear you being at the game say that it was live. So that's good. Hashtag HTTC. Rocky D, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, Giant Killer rings true today. Laughing my ass off. Love it. Love being giant killers. Love it. JLG, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, Jayden undefeated against Danny and the Giants. Yeah. Look, get him while you can, because he ain't going to be there much longer, right? This might be his last year in New York. So get these dubs against him while you still can. Elf Life, stand up. You are the newest member of the MOBB. Elf Life. Mob, you know what to do. Show Elf Life some love. Welcome him with open arms. Elf Life, welcome to the squad. Glad to have you. J-Mart, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Might be your third one. Feels like a double up. Do you think 5 needs to put more weight on? No. Because see, what ultimately happens is you put more weight on, then you're not the dynamic runner that you are, and then you end up trying to get the weight back off. Like Lamar did that, right? Lamar did that. Lamar bulked up. Then he wasn't the dynamic runner, so he got the weight back off this year, right? Tua bulked up, right? Then he took the weight off this year because he couldn't run. Just be who you are, right? This is who you've been. Be who you are. 28, the great, no debate. 28, the great, no debate. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, this defensive front scheme to get up the field gets cooked in the run game and gets no pressure on pass plays. We can't afford to not suit up 52. 24 is cheeks. Yeah, the way that they play up front it leaves us exposed if them backers ain't coming down. And to your point, I'm disappointed because I want more pressure on obvious passing downs, and we just didn't get it today. We didn't get it. And that's frustrating, right? That's really frustrating. Frank, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. I deserve that. I deserve that. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you, right? Lou, thanks for the new PFP and meme. I asked for that. I really, truly did ask for that, and you get what you deserve. And so I deserve that. I deserve that. CMG 87. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, Bobby Johnson doing same job in DC as he did in New York last year. Abhorrent. Might not win against the Browns or Panthers game, so enjoy tonight. Are you calling his offensive line performance bad after we just ran for 200 yards? I'm confused by some of y'all. What? CGM 87, what were you watching today? Help me. Our quarterback had 6 incompletions. I'm not telling you the offensive line in terms of pass pro was sparkling. I'm confused. Help me. I just need help. Because we couldn't have watched the same game. If your biggest takeaway from today is the offensive line coach was awful and we won't beat Cleveland or Carolina at home. What game were you watching again? T Roy, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes, at the game today, I have to give it up to our fans. We owned our house. That feels good to hear. That feels good. Feels good to hear. I wasn't sure, but I felt like the excitement surrounding Jayden, the new vibes, right? There's a lot to be excited about. And I'm glad they gave you guys something to cheer about. Make you want to come back in 3 weeks when we play the Browns, right? B, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for the super chat. B writes, Joe Witt equals Eric Bieniemy for defense. I can't go that far, man. It's been a rough start for Joe Witt Jr. And he waited this long for this opportunity, similar to Eric Bieniemy, and he can't fail. So good thing is he's got a leash and he's got an opportunity for 3 years or so to figure it out. And so it hasn't started off great. It hasn't started off great, but plenty of time to figure it out. Fresh Montana, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Fresh Montana, thank you for being a member of the MOBB. Writes, we still need a left guard. 67 is ass. Nick Allegretti, first time being a full-time starter. Give him a chance. Give him a chance. He was a part of the penalty brigade today, though. He was definitely a part of the penalty brigade today. So we got to clean that shit up, obviously, on the offensive line. But I think I feel good about the line. So far, so good about the offensive line. I'm not confident about our tackles, but I went into the season knowing that. So if you know that you have a disadvantage at tackle, you need to help Wiley on obvious passing situations. Chip, double, whatever. You can't leave him out there by himself. CGM 87, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes, would you call Howard or Pat Peterson? Can't be worse. No, I wouldn't call either one of them. I don't call either one of them. Pat Pete is old, and I already talked about Xavier Howard. Or is that his last name? Is his last name Howard? Only might be. I don't think his last name is Howard. I might be tripping, But no, I wouldn't call either one of those dudes. I already talked about Xavier and some issues he's got going on off the field. Nobody wants to touch that with a 10-foot pole. So no to him. And he's injury prone. That's another reason, no. And Pat Peters old as hell. He old as dirt. I'm good. I'm good. Cornerback position is no country for old men. Just roll with what you got. Roll with what you got. That's it. We've reached the end. Man, I'm excited. We're on the board. You can put us on the board. Yes. We got our first dub of the season. Got off the schneid. We're 1-1. 7 field goals. Never would have imagined it would have taken 7 field goals to get it done. But it did. And we did. And I feel good. Feel good about the win. Celebrate. It's the first of hopefully many to come. Congratulations to AP and DQ for their first wins here in Washington. Congratulations to Jayden Daniels for his first win. Congratulations to Austin Seibert for potentially finding himself a home, but more importantly, being the special teams player of the week on the NFC side of things with his 7 field goals, including the game winner. And good to get one, right? Build a little confidence, get a taste of winning in your mouth, see how that feels, switch that around a little bit, and maybe we can build off of that. Bengals are 0-2, and they're going to be starving. They know they can't drop to 0-3. So any ideas of going in there and sneaking those boys, dead, I tell you. I just hope we don't get embarrassed. And right now, with the way our defense plays, with T. Higgins coming back, it could get ugly for us. The only way that it doesn't is if the offense shows up. And I think we can move the ball on that defense. But we got plenty of time to talk about that. Enjoy the night. Watch Caleb tonight, because I think we got the offensive rookie of the year here in Washington. So kick back, enjoy, knowing that the NFC East, yeah, they're 0 for today, except for us. Yeah, we got it done. And we right there with Dallas, tied in the division at 1-1. Feels damn good. And oh yeah, by the way, for those of you out there saying that he doesn't, DQ does own the Giants. So there's that too. Big Money Sonny, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Big Money Sonny, thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, we still ass, Lou. We found the kicker though. Salutes. We still ass, but we won. I'd much rather be ass with a win than ass with a loss. And on that note, I am getting out of here. I am excited. CMG87, thank you for super chat. Greatly appreciate my guy CMG87 writes, I was saying O-line pass pro. And next win is Cleveland or Carolina. Okay, that's what you were saying. I got you. I don't think you're wrong about that. I don't think we're going to win the next 2 games either. I told you that before the season started, though. But the pass pro wasn't great. And at some point, I think we're going to have to find answers to pressure. Because if you don't have an answer to pressure, if teams know they can just blitz us and Jayden's going to try to tuck it and run and end up getting sacked, then they're going to keep bringing pressure. The Giants aren't even a heavy blitz team, and they blitzed early in this game in particular. They're not even a pressure team. That's not what their defensive coordinator, Bowen, likes to do. And yet they saw fit to do it against us because we didn't handle pressure well against Tampa Bay last week. I thought we got a little bit better as the game wore on handling pressure, but it's still something we need to address. Baby steps. Baby steps. Baby steps. CGM 87. Baby steps. Enjoy the win. I know I will. You guys enjoy the rest of your evening. I'll be back for Sunday Night Football overtime. but I'm going to just soak up the 21-18 victory like we scored 50 today. Whether you win by 3 or 33, it all counts the same. One tally mark in the left-hand column. And we got it done today. GT7, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. GT7 writes, Daboll is getting grilled by New York press for not having 2 kickers active, laughing my ass off. Oh, I love it. Who has 2 kickers active? Unless unless they went into the game knowing that Graham Gano had a sore hamstring. Who goes into a game with 2 kickers? Nobody does. They just trying to find stuff to get on his case about now. But like you said, I love it. I love it. I love it, man. It's great. Anyway, y'all enjoy the rest of your evening, and I'll see you guys later. If not, I'll see you tomorrow. Celebrate! We won. We're off the schneid, and we're in the left-hand column. Feels good, feels good. Till next time, you guys have a good one. Take care. Enjoy. Cheer.